Good morning, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning. It is our absolute honor to be doing the same with you. Thank you so much for joining a conversation that started off so powerfully yesterday in the last show, and we're going to continue on that trend. It's the midweek feel-good breakfast show where we freewheel down to the weekend. Of course, the weather has taken a bit of a dip, but we're not going to let that dampen our spirits at all. Just please be vigilant out there. We know the roads are wet. Be super, super careful, but please, we are going to give you the perfect excuse to stay in. If you don't even want to leave the house today, snuggle up and we will bring the comfort through. This morning, we are cooking up some winter warmers in the kitchen with Chef Clem and a Durban-based phenom, Tony Munsami. Yes, it is curry on the menu today, and we are going to have a whole lot of fun. In fact, we're going to raise the temperatures on the inside as the kitchen are whipping up some prawn curries, lamb curry, fish curry, pretty much any curry your little heart desires. We'll show you how it's done. So get the pens and paper out. You're going to want to take notes for the Culinary Hotline today, but it's 3 hours of a whole lot of fun, and we're going to soak up every second because I get to do it with my brother. Good morning, sunshine. How are you doing?
Yes, brother. Good morning, and good morning to you, Mzansi. Thank you for joining us once again, the middle of the week. But don't worry, we are here to serve you. Now, I've added an extra layer of jersey to my day today, just so I can be warm and stay warm enough to keep you warm for the next 3 hours. So we got you covered. We're here to serve you. So let's warm things up right now, and let's get into a little bit of conversation. And of course, as always, we're chatting to you this morning. Today is No Smoking Day. Can you believe it? Yes, it's No Smoking Day. So let's celebrate our loved ones and maybe ourselves, whoever has beaten their nicotine addiction. How long has it been since you last smoked a cigarette? If ever, we'd love to know from you, Mzansi. Come through, let us know on our social media channels. We've got our number as well. That's 063-408-8863. And let's get this conversation going. And speaking of conversations, we've got headlines that we want to tuck into right now, and the G-Man is standing by for the latest.
Thank you so much, Well. We start with our national news first. And the driver of the vehicle allegedly involved in yesterday morning's horror incident in Mitchell's Plain near Cape Town that claimed the lives of 5 primary school learners has now been arrested. The 55-year-old man faces charges of culpable homicide. It's reported that the vehicle wasn't registered for scholar transport and that the driver hadn't the necessary permit to transport passengers. Transport authorities say the driver lost control of the vehicle, after which it overturned and then hit a bus. Then the well-known broadcaster, political analyst and journalist Eusebius McKaiser has sadly passed away at the age of just 45. It's believed he succumbed after a suspected epileptic seizure. Now, McKaiser will be remembered by many as a phenomenal talk show host, and he also wrote for publications such as the Sunday Times and Business Day, a singular voice in his industry. Born in Makhanda in the Eastern Cape, he studied at Rhodes University and attended Oxford University on a Rhodes Scholarship, underpinning his incredible achievements, and he worked for a number of media houses, including hosting SABC3's current affairs program Interface. To his family, to his friends, his partner, we certainly send all of our love and condolences. He will leave a vacuum in this industry. Now we cast a wider gaze on the international news front. Sudan's warring military factions agreed on Monday this week to a 5-day extension of a ceasefire agreement after renewed heavy clashes and airstrikes in the capital Khartoum had cast fresh doubts on the effectiveness of the truce designed to ease a humanitarian crisis that's currently unfolding. Saudi Arabia and the US, which brokered a week-long ceasefire deal, announced on Monday evening that the parties had agreed to an extension. Although the ceasefire has been imperfectly observed, it had allowed the delivery of aid to an estimated 2 million people over this process. Then a little further afield, Russian President Vladimir Putin says the drone attacks on Moscow yesterday morning are an attempt to provoke Russia. Its air defense system intercepted the 8 drones targeting residential areas. Putin says Ukraine has now made the choice to intimidate Russia and attack its citizens and residential buildings. He labeled it as an act of terrorism. Drone debris hit some of Moscow's most prominent neighborhoods, including where Putin has a residence himself. Then we round off with this incredible story. Wheelchair-bound and Kariga-born bodybuilding star, 33-year-old Max Kulati from the Eastern Cape has been selected to represent South Africa at the Slovenia Bodybuilding World Cup in June, the biggest international competition of this sporting code. Incredible. But funding proves to be problematic as Kulati, the current world champion, has to pay his own way to this prestigious event. The world champion has to pay his own way. Well, the trip and competition fees accumulate to some 50,000 Rand, and Kulati's hoping that sponsors will help make his dream come true. We are behind you 100%. In fact, let's tap into that sporting fraternity right now. Raul's got the latest sporting news.
Thank you so much. Yes, G-Man reporting on the latest when it comes to sporting news, and something grabbing the headlines are very different this morning. An illegal streaming gang who offered cut-price subscriptions for Premier League matches to more than 50,000 people have been jailed. Now, the Premier League said 5 men were convicted of conspiracy to defraud, money laundering and contempt of court after generating more than 7 million euros in 5 years. Now, Mark Gould was reported to have masterminded the operation and was handed an 11-year prison sentence at Chesterfield Crown Court on Tuesday. Now, the group offered illegal access to matches from hundreds of channels around the world, as well as tens of thousands of on-demand films and TV shows. Interesting stuff indeed, but we stick to soccer action right now. And Spartak Moscow forward Quincy Promes is being prosecuted for his alleged involvement in drugs and trafficking. Now, the 31-year-old is accused of being involved with smuggling 1,362 kilograms of cocaine to the Netherlands or Belgium, and this being said by Dutch prosecutors on Tuesday. Now, the former Netherlands international was previously charged in 2021 with attempted manslaughter and assault. Interesting stuff indeed. Well, for now, we carry on with sporting action. And yes, this time we are reporting on some sport itself and going off to the tennis courts. Now, second seed Daniel Medvedev was stunned by qualifier Thiago Seyboth-Wild in a big French Open first-round shock. Now, the Russian battled windy conditions, a mouth full of clay, and the Brazilian's outstanding forehand in a 7-6, 6-7, 2-6, 6-3, and 6-4 loss. Now, fourth seed Casper Ruud also coasted into the second round with a 6-4, 6-3, 6-2 victory over Swedish qualifier Elias Ymer, while Alex Zverev saw off South Africa's Lloyd Harris in straight sets. Now, in the women's draw, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, as well as Ons Jabeur all advanced to the next round. Well, sticking to our sporting action, Formula One Red Bull's Chief Engineering Officer Rob Marshall will leave at the end of the year to join Formula One rivals McLaren. Now, McLaren said Marshall will take the role of Technical Director, Engineering and Design when he starts at Woking on the 1st of January 2024. Now, Marshall has been at reigning champions Red Bull for 17 years, serving as Chief Designer from 2006 to 2016. He previously worked at Renault, helping them to both titles in 2005 with Fernando Alonso. Well, that's all I have for you when it comes to sporting action. I'm hitting it back to G when he gives you the latest when it comes to all things weather.
Thank you so much, Raul. Let's kick off our first weather report with a bit of weather news first. And the South African Weather Service has now issued an orange level 5 warning, and that's for disruptive rain, leading to localized flooding of susceptible settlements, roads, low-lying areas and bridges over the eastern half of the Eastern Cape. The Weather Service has also warned of disruptive rain over the eastern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. That's leading to localized flooding of low-lying bridges, damage to infrastructure and accidents due to slippery roads. Please be extra vigilant in those affected areas. Now let's see what your area looks like this morning. And thank you so much to all of you who sent through your sunrise pictures. Look at that. Gina in Mossel Bay capturing the start of the sun rising up. That's how you freeze time. Beautiful. Then Tuli from KZN standing outside enjoying these stunning pink clouds lighting up the sky. Beautiful. Rowan from Johannesburg, out and about enjoying a walk. Snapped this lovely view with the sun's rays beaming up. Thanks for getting us all up and running. Then last up, we have Fawzia in GQ. Snapped a beautiful view from the pinks to the swirls of orange Absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for your contributions. Keep them coming. Share your sunrise views on 063 408 8863. All right, brand new day, brand new temperatures to be aware of. Let's start up in Polokwane, where your low is 11, going up to a high of 24 degrees with a 40% chance of rain. And Bombela ranging between 15 and 25. Expect thunder showers there. Likewise in Pretoria, where your temperatures start at 5, maxing out at 21 today. Johannesburg, slight chance of rain. Your minimum 4 going up to 18. Mahikeng, 1 and 19 your range. Klerksdorp, 1 and 18 with a 40% chance of rain. Kimberley, you're starting your day on 0 today, only up to 11. And then Bloem, similarly a freezing start, -1 in fact, and 11 your high, with some rain just to add to the mix. Richards Bay, 17 your low, going up to 26 with a slight chance of rain. That increases as we move to Pietermaritzburg, where your low is 10, going up to 22. 70% chance of thunder showers in Durbs, ranging between 16 and 23 degrees. Mthatha, your low 17, going up to 17. That weather tempered by, or the temperatures tempered by the weather undoubtedly. East London, your low 13, going up to 20. Craddock, your low 3, going up to only 14, with the rain definitely on its way. Gqeberha, 8 your low, going up to 20. George, 12 and 18. Moving to Cape Town, your low 12, going up to 18 as well. Then Worcester ranging between 9 and 18 with a slight chance of rain. Temperatures starting to drop as we move to Sutherland, your low 3, going up to only 12 today. And then Uppington ranging between 3 and 17 degrees. But as we always say, regardless of the weather, make sure it's a beautiful day.
Hey guys, it's definitely going to be a beautiful day. Look who's here! Yes, Michael Moore!
I didn't get the memo, Ral. I'm so sorry, man. You and Graham wearing the same colours. That's fantastic.
It's fine. You can do whatever you want. You like royalty out here, man. How you doing?
It's early, man.
Yeah.
But it's good to be back. It really is. It's like a family reunion here.
It is, and it's so
Turn
good
the
to
cameras
have you.
round.
Literally, this is like a 360 moment for me. You are like levels when it comes to me playing this game, and you've inspired so many people, and that's why I'm pretty much in the space right now. So thank you for what you're doing, and thanks for coming in this morning, because we got something to look forward to, right? What's
We
happening after
most
the break?
definitely do. Well, we're not talking not smoking today, because we are going to talk that later. We're talking about bedwetting.
Ooh,
Can you
interesting.
believe that? After that kind of introduction to talk about bedwetting, but it's an
Okay, well-
important subject to talk about.
Yeah, interesting stuff indeed. Well, don't go anywhere, because this man is here to stay. Yes!
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
May the 31st is World Bedwetting Day, and the occurrence draws attention to children who still wet their beds even after 5 years or more. Bedwetting is a very common medical condition that can and should be treated. Let's take some of the sting out of this conversation right now. Now, the day aims to raise awareness of the need to dispel the many myths surrounding bedwetting and encourage parents to speak with their doctors to assess their child's condition correctly, and also chat to your kids. And one of our favorites, I'm sure, looks at me as a kid still, medical doctor and TV personality. Please, I hope he does. Dr. Michael Mull is here now.
Okay, that's not true, dude. No, you have definitely grown up in the last
Because you
couple of
did
years,
know me as a kid as well, and I'm sorry you had to deal with me at that age on a stage. But
You haven't changed much, which is good, you know. It's still that kind
exactly.
of boyhood sparkle in the eye.
But the same can be said for you, my friend. You're still a man on a mission. You have a calling. As a parent, I understand you completely differently now. And all of the advice you have given us preemptively, those parents who have been following in your wake, thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The bedwetting, I don't even want to make a big thing of it because it was such a natural part of my child's, especially with my one child's, their progression. But it is a big thing because it matters to them, and it can be a big thing to them. How have you been able to put this in perspective before we get into the importance of today and digging a little bit deeper? How have you, because you've become a champion of today, which is amazing.
Yeah. Graham, you're right. And I was a bedwetter. So, you know, when I was growing up, my parents had no idea about this bedwetting thing. They just thought, Michael, you're being belligerent. How's that for a word early in the morning?
Boom.
Just, you know, and so I had to get up and dry my own sheets and all that sort of stuff. Some sort of way to punish me for just, come on, man. But it's never your kid's fault. And you'll find that out. I mean, you know that when your kids grow up, bedwetting is an involuntary passing of urine at night. So it's not your child's fault. It's never their fault. So they should never be punished. And that's kind of the thing that underpins this campaign, this bedwetting campaign, just to educate parents around what exactly it is. It's a season that most kids will get through. Most. Yeah. And it's not their fault. So moms and dads, never, ever punish your kids for wetting their bed at night.
Yeah, in most of my cases, it's been my fault because I didn't follow our checklist. I didn't ask him certain questions, and it's become a part of his kind of process, which is amazing. That being said, what causes it? What are some of those root causes that could take us out of that natural progression?
So, Graham, three things essentially. Your bladder. As you're growing up, little small bladder, not big enough. You know, it's got limited capacity, that's the first thing. The second thing is your body's not producing a hormone that tells your kidneys to produce less urine at night, which most adults do. And the third thing is you have this brain-bladder connection that your child doesn't wake up to when they have a full bladder. So it's three very natural physiological processes that, as you get older, just mature. So the bigger you get, the bigger your bladder capacity. Your brain-bladder kind of wakes up and says, hey, your bladder's full, get up and go to the loo. And of course, you produce this hormone, an antidiuretic hormone that says, don't make so much urine to the kidneys.
There's 45-year-old men standing out there going, yeah, whatever, but I'm hoping the bladder gets bigger at some particular point. With this being quite a clear path and switches that essentially almost need to be flicked, how do we tell where our particular child is in that space, and how do we start treating it?
Well, that's a great question, because I get a lot of parents saying to me, my child's a bedwetter. I'm going, how old is your child? Because the kind of diagnosis for bedwetting is your child's got to be at least 5 years or older. Okay. And they need to be wetting their bed at least twice a week, so it's got to be regular. Don't come to me and say, my child is 4 and still wetting the bed at night. We expect that.
Yeah,
and
that's going to happen.
Bladder control after the age of 5, between 5 and 7. So anything, how we can manage this. And you said it right in the beginning, if it affects my child, usually psychologically, then I need to do something proactively. If it's not affecting my kid, if they're fine with the fact that they've got a wet bed in the evenings, then just take it time. Let the season pass in their own time.
And that's exactly it. These moments, I'm realizing, can become quite a marker for your child. And it's not an often, if you don't contextualize it in the right way, or just explain or try to understand, generally that stems from you not understanding or being out of control and being fearful, and you're reacting and they're reacting, and it can turn the small thing into a really big thing. When you talk about managing, when we do need to take a step further, when it's been going on 5 years old, later, these things are not working themselves out. How do we approach it?
So the approach is kind of conservative or proactive. Okay. Conservative are the usual things that we know as parents. So stop fluid intake about 2 hours before bedtime. During the day, give your kid lots to drink. You want their bladder to kind of hydrate. Absolutely, and get used to going to the loo. But 2 hours before bedtime, no drinks, and no caffeinated drinks, which obviously, as parents, we're not going to do.
Oh,
So
that's what I've been doing.
Yes, that, and carbonated drinks. No Coke before bed, no. Yeah, just kick that out. So that's a big one. The other is just before bedtime, obviously go to the loo, so you can empty your bladder. Again, that's a no-brainer. What feels like a no-brainer, but it's not, is a lot of parents, before they go to bed, so kids been down for an hour or two, before parents go to bed, they wake their child up and take them to the loo just to empty their bladder. Don't do that. That's called lifting, and it actually prolongs the season of bedwetting.
Oh,
so not a good idea. So those are the conservative approaches. Proactively is when your child is really battling with that self-esteem, you know, and you kind of go, this is affecting my kid. There's some proactive things you can do. And by the way, kind of an in-betweener is these pull-ups. In fact, Huggies and I have been doing this campaign for many, many years. They've got these wonderful pull-ups called dry nights. It just allows your child to get to bed, to go to sleep without the anxiety of, am I going to wake up in a wet bed? So no stress, no anxiety, sleep through the night. Very cool. But the proactive approaches, there are bedwetting alarms, a little monitor in your child's underwear that just kind of wakes them up as that starts to get wet, and that teaches this brain-bladder connection to mature quickly. So that's the one. Brilliant. And the other, of course, is just some medications. So some hormones that your body should be producing that you can now give in a little pill form that just gets your kidneys to produce less urine. That works immediately. But it's not a cure for bedwetting. So you give your child that medication, they'll be dry overnight. As soon as you stop that, they'll go back to wetting their bed because, you know, that's your body's natural process. It still needs to produce its own antidiuretic hormone.
Absolutely love it. We've got to get the mind-body connection. Wake it all up. They are embracing life and everything. I've got to reiterate, though, we weren't talking to 45-year-old men beyond us being parents for this particular conversation. We are talking about wetting the bed. It doesn't have to be a big thing in your household. We'll help you deal with it. Stick around.
Yeah, stick around. That conversation will continue. But for now, though, it's time to honor our daughters in this next competition.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
Look at me, I'm smiling. You know what's about to happen. Before we get into it, though, you know that saying, how it goes, right? Mothers and daughters share a bond that's as timeless as love itself, woven with threads of laughter, hugs, and endless support. I absolutely love this saying, and it's time to nominate a deserving daughter for a dose of care, and they could stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand in cash. So, now is that lucky moment where we get a drum roll, please. Let's congratulate Felicity Mazipuko. Yes, that's our lucky winner for the day. Now, Felicity's mom commented and said the following: I had an operation about a year ago and I couldn't do anything. My daughter stepped in and took care of me, from doing the house chores to bathing me and feeding me. She made sure I attended all my doctor's appointments on time and was always by my side. I am super grateful to have her in my life. I really appreciate her love and all that she has done for me. She's a loving and very selfless person who deserves #PanadoSA as #a dose of care. I absolutely love this. And we've got Amalda and Dora on the line. Amalda, how are you doing?
Fine.
I'm fine. Thank you so much for this incredible nomination. Can you share something remarkable, like the qualities or special moments that makes your daughter so amazing? We've heard this comment from you, but please can you share more?
Is a and caring person and kind.
Yeah,
I was doing an operation. I couldn't do anything. He was taking care of me. Took me to the doctor. Took me everything for me.
Oh, I love it. Felicity, are you there? Are you on the line?
Felicity, it's not in the line.
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry, Amal. I thought I'd lost you there. Apologies. Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask you, what is important to you when it comes to sharing that dose of care? What does that really mean to you?
Come again?
So sharing a dose of care, what does that mean to you exactly? Why is that important to you?
Hello?
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, it looks like we just lost Imelda and we are struggling with the line, but she is still officially a winner and we're going to leave it at that. So again, I want to thank you for taking part in this, Imelda, and of course your daughter. You guys are incredible. Felicity Mazibuka, congratulations. You have been incredible. And for you, Mzansi, that's how easy it is. You can be a winner, and Panado is doing it, and they're doing the most, honestly. They're acknowledging the indescribable impact that daughters have in our lives, and you can show your recognition with this heartfelt dose of care. And if you're wondering how, well, check it out. Here's how.
A daughter is just a little girl who grows up to be your best friend. Since daughters are such a gift of love, you can show yours how much she means to you by gifting her the chance to win a 2,000 Rand dose of care cash. Each weekday from the 22nd of May to the 2nd of June, Panado SA is giving away 2,000 Rand to a much-loved daughter. If that is a dose of care which you would love your daughter to win, enter by replying to the hashtag Panado SA and hashtag A Dose of Care competition post on Expresso's Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages. Don't forget to include hashtag Panado SA and hashtag A Dose of Care. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
Only you can make my day.
Now you can generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Having a lot of fun reconnecting with the gorgeous, beautiful mind and heart that is Dr. Mole. Yes, our favorite medical doctor and TV personality and old friend, Dr. Michael Mole, is back as we wrap up our discussion on World Bedwetting Day. Now, this medical condition can have a serious detrimental effect on your child's self-esteem. I'm going to start there. Their emotional well-being, and I think just the daytime functioning, including school and their social performance. So it's not just about what happens at night. This all says to me, warning bells, as a dad who is very reactive and emotional.
Yeah.
We shouldn't do certain things in this situation. What must we not do, if that's correct
Graham,
English?
you should be, no, you're right. You should be aware. And I think the awareness comes in understanding that kids who wet their bed, and there's studies that back this up, really battle with low self-esteem compared to their peers who don't wet their bed at night.
Imagine yourself in that situation.
Well, exactly. Horrible. Not only that, but these kids also have a higher propensity, higher risk for depression later on in life. So the psychological effects of bedwetting go way beyond just a wet bed. So as a parent, my responsibility and my drive is not so much a dry bed, it's to make sure that the impact on my child's self-esteem and their mental health is minimized.
Yeah.
And we do that by making this less of a thing. It's by saying, hey, buddy, 1 in 6 kids wet their beds. So if you've got a class of 30 kids in your class, 5 of them also battling with wetting their bed. It's a normal thing. It's common, you know. And it's really supporting them, encouraging them, being positive about those dry nights to say, hey, last night was a dry night. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And kind of minimize the wet night. So it really is focusing on that aspect rather than on a kind of a dry bed. And if it means medication or pull-ups or alarms or whatever the case is, you do what you do to help your child through this season of bedwetting.
I think a good way to look at this, because it triggers us, because of the fear involved, because we don't want our children to be vulnerable in any sense in that way. So
absolutely,
I think if we are being triggered, there's a good sign that that is being transferred to your child.
And there's shame in the parking lot at school. You know, my child's a bedwetter. It's almost like, don't say that too loudly. Forget that, parents. It's common. Understand that if that is your child, the issue is not you. In fact, genetically it is, man. You're the reason.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, this is a rabbit hole.
Exactly. But it's about your child and their mental well-being.
And being proactive. And I think this was a big lesson I've learned from the amazing people I get to share this space with. But it's not so much the trauma of the moment that makes the imprint. It's the lack of explanation or processing of that moment that lays that marker down. So we want tools here. We want to be able to proactively fight this so every morning we can wake up and say, yeah, we can celebrate that, celebrate this success. How do we go about that? Are there lifestyle changes maybe we can start with? Are there kind of dietary information informing this process? Is there a way that we can help in that way, or is it just as simple as these 3 switches?
It's really as simple as those 3 things. If we complicate things and kind of bring in diet, we're going to kind of muddy the water.
Great for your health of your child, but...
Absolutely, yeah, by all means. You know, don't let your child smoke. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But really, I would say if your child, between the ages of 5 and 7, if you've done what you can, if you've given them the pull-ups, the medication, the alarms, whatever the case is, and there's still no change, then I would go and see your GP, your general practitioner, or a specialist. So over the age of 7, if there's some daytime incidents, that's worth saying, hang on a second, this is more than just kind of bedwetting. The other thing that I'd really look out for as a parent is if your child has been dry for more than 6 months, so wet their bed, they're dry for 6 months, and then starts wetting their bed again. Okay. We call that secondary bedwetting. There are different reasons for that. That's no longer physiological.
Sure, that's not the body kind of kicking into process. It's a different thing.
Now we're talking mental issues. So there's either bullying at school, or there's parental fighting or divorce, or a sibling that's come into the picture. There are other issues that are causing bedwetting once a child has been dry. So if that's your child, dry, wet again after 6 months, I'd look for different reasons and a different way to support them to help them with their bedwetting.
And maybe this is a deeper lesson here to learn as parents, because we want to be able to blame. We want to be able to have a reason, because it's scary. With a child, it's 0 to 100. There's no gradually getting there. It's either a cough or croup and let's go to hospital kind of thing. With this particular phase, obviously there are potentially other health complications, but as a parent yourself, what do you think is the most important advice for parents in this kind of situation? What do you think has helped the most in your experience?
So let me tell you a story. Thomas Edison, as a young boy, comes home from school one day, and this is possibly urban legend, but he gives his mom a letter and says, "Mom, my teachers told me to give this only to you. Read it. What does it say?" Mom reads it, tears up, and says, it says that Thomas is a genius. He's too clever for us to teach him, you teach him. And so that's what Thomas Edison's mother did for the rest of his schooling. She taught him.
She homeschooled him.
Yeah, exactly. Later, she passed on, and years later, he kind of went through her goods, came across this brown, brown old letter, read it, and it actually said, your son is mentally deficient. We don't want him in the school. You teach him. And he wrote down in his journal that day, said, Thomas Edison became one of the greatest inventors of the century because his mother believed in him, because his mother told him he was. And so I tell you that story because as a parent, how you see bedwetting influences how your child sees bedwetting. So if you see this as it's a season where I can get close to my child, I can support them, I can love them through this period, they're going to get through fine. If it becomes a season of shame and don't tell anyone and, punishment for wetting their bed, you're going to mess up.
Yeah, you're going to lay an anchor down there, an emotional anchor that they'll keep coming back to. Look, it's a difficult gig, but we got you. This parenting thing ain't half bad. And it's these sorts of moments that bond us. I love any challenge that I can walk through with my kids because that's how we both learn. Absolutely love this. Happy World Bedwetting Day. Get the support that you need. And if it happened on your bachelor's, it's okay as well. You can still get pull-ups for grown-ups, I think.
Thank you so much for that incredible conversation. Now you can see how well we are dressed. Yes, it's getting cold, and as winter knocks on our doors, we are all gearing up to embrace the chilly season. Now, whether you prefer the comfort of the indoor coziness or the thrill of outdoor adventures like me, there's one thing we can all agree on: staying warm is key, right? So our G-Man himself, he visited the Crazy Store where he found everything he needed for a cozy night in. Bring it on.
As much as I'd like to deny it, clearly winter is upon us, and that means it's time to start layering up, but also the opportunity to snuggle up. I love that, whether it's outdoors screaming for your favorite rugby team clad in a beanie and scarf, or indoors cozying up with the ones that you love watching your favorite movie. Clearly, it is now time to get warm and fuzzy. Oh, cute. Wow, you better brace for a winter wonderland of fun and coziness at the Crazy Store this winter with their incredible range of winter goodies. Absolutely everything and anything you might need, like a beautiful hot water bottle, the absolute staple, and I like the look of this. But we've got everything to wear, from plush hoodies, beanies, scarves, gloves, to the most incredible blankets, even down to the mugs that make you feel special. For the little ones, and actually for my wife as well, the microwave heating pads, you can find your spirit animal there. I'm actually starting to feel like I'm ready to embrace the chilly weather this winter. Beautiful. These are cute. A little too cute for me, I think. All right, what have we got here? Best mom ever, nice. Be you, very cute. I think we need something more low-key for dad. Green, nice. Blue, spot on. And in my favorite color. This is where it gets super snuggly. The Snuggly Bits range, amazing. The themes, like the mermaid, so cool. The sleeves, absolutely awesome for my significant other. But for dad, he needs something that sounds pretty cool and hardcore, like a Sherpa blanket. Absolutely beautiful. The quality, incredible. And the price, even better. I love it. I think a grey is the perfect balance for dad, because dads deserve a snuggle as well. And with the puppers, even miniature dachshunds are covered. Although, if I had to ask Leo what size he needs, he'd probably walk me over here and say, this is more my thing. Leo the Lionheart, absolutely too cool. But when it comes to dad fashion, we express ourselves through our socks. Look at this. When they say funky socks, they deliver. Only problem, I've now got to choose which ones I want. So I think I'm going to honor my kids with some funky rubber ducks. Very cool. And then I think I need the ultimate dad joke expressed in sock form. Some beers. Really cool. Oh, that's funky. paraphrase Edith Sitwell, who I think coined it perfectly, winter is a time for comfort, for good food and for warmth. It is the time for home. And that's exactly where I'm headed now that I have all of my winter essentials. Albeit, I do have a brand new mug, which means I probably need a hot chocolate stick. Obvious. Well, I'm sorted for my indoor cozy up today, but what I love about the Crazy Store is how prepped they are to help us get outdoors, from the hats to the insane beanies, the scarves, the gloves, especially for the little ones. They really do have the style sorted, and they've got the warmth factor. But for me, I want to get indoors. The real joy of winter is being able to find your quiet, cozy little corner. For me, a little bit of quiet time. Get into the man cave, escape the family for 2 minutes, and just snuggle up. It's all about those creature comforts. It's about feeling good. And then a bit of peace and quiet so I can sink into something that I really enjoy. I don't get a huge amount of time to watch my shows, to stream what I want to stream. So 5 minutes to myself, that is bliss. Well, I think I have proven how easily you can create your own cozy haven thanks to the insane range of Crazy Store winter goodies. They literally have something for everyone. So if you're wanting to stay indoors, whether it's alone or connecting with the ones you love over a good movie, or get outdoors and experience life, you really can embrace winter and do it with all the warmth, comfort and relaxation you need. And of course, you can also do it in style.
Pussy, who are you?
Back, man. I know. Everyone's got to have an
dream,
alternate life.
Zoom calling Conor McGregor. Like, what kind of life is this?
I was just telling him, you can grapple, bro. You can grapple, dude. Don't listen to them. What an absolute joy. I think if you're looking to get hooked up this winter, I know we always look at everyone else. Do it for yourself, please. Just go and have a look. You will find something that expresses your personality.
Oh, yeah. I even saw something for the mountain there, which I'm definitely going to go get because, oh, it's getting cold out here in Cape Town. And, of course, winter's coming, so the boxes are ticked. I love it. Nicely played.
I love it. So, Crazy Store, thank you so much. You made me feel like a proper dad for a day.
Whoever you are, whatever you need, you'll find great value for the whole family at the Crazy Store. So duck into a store near you and be surprised.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast
Good morning, South Africa, and welcome to the Culinary Hotline Blues! Ting, ting, ting! Everyone is very excited today because they know they are going to be eating so well today. It's a very special edition of the Culinary Hotline. It's the viewer edition, and I brought someone in who is phenomenal in the kitchen. We've got Tony Munsami in the kitchen. Can we get a hand for Tony?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Morning, Clem.
Tony, I feel like you're taking the spotlight. People, I'm out. It's Tony's show. No, I'm here.
No.
So happy to have you.
Thank you.
Tell the people where we met.
We actually met in Woolworths.
We met in Woolworths.
Woolworths.
You meet the best people in the world in Woolworths. I actually met Tony and he was like, listen, I know you cook. I cook too, and I can make some of the finest curries you have ever tasted in your life. And I was like, okay, cool, show me. So Tony, you're joining us this morning. I'm so excited to have you here. It's winter, right?
Yes.
And people are looking for hearty and just like soul-filling food. And these curries are it. But I feel like curries are different. They like the one dish that's appropriate in summer, spring, winter, autumn. Curries. And you're a pro. You're an absolute pro.
I wouldn't say absolute pro, but home cooking, love it.
Love it. Okay, let's get started straight away, and I'm going to talk to you while we're busy cooking. I'm seeing prawns. I'm smelling amazing things. We're making a prawn curry, right?
That's correct.
Tried and tested?
Yes.
This has been like 100 times already you've made this?
Definitely, it's one of the family favorites.
I think it's a country favorite. Seafood curry is just so delicious. Graham is actually highly allergic to seafood, and he was like, I don't care. I'm going to try it today. So we are on standby with EpiPens for Graham because he's so committed to this curry. So let's talk about what happens first. So I've got some oil in the pan already, but you said we're going to start off with butter.
With butter, yes.
Well, I mean, at home, if you have some ghee, get the ghee in there. And that's for cooking our prawns.
That's correct.
Cool, so let's get started. Tell me about the way you marinate your prawns.
Okay, basically, the first thing that we do is we're using the ginger and garlic. The ginger and garlic mix go in first.
And you don't want to, I mean, can we marinate our prawns ahead of time, or is it best?
Yes, you can. It actually, the longer you keep it marinated, the more the flavors soak in. So it's better if you could marinate it and then clean it, keep it in the fridge for an hour or two or something, and then, or even if you want to do it using your fingers like what I'm doing currently.
It's your best kitchen utensil. It's your hands.
Exactly.
100%.
And then adding to this is your mixed herb.
So we're going with mixed herb, and I like the fact that we're not using
rustic garlic.
Rustic garlic.
Rustic garlic and herb.
We're going quite aggressively with the herbs and spices, and I love that because that's where all that flavor comes
That's
through.
where the earth feeling and the earth taste comes up from the mixed herbs. Because with the different herb that we have, you get different flavors.
Okay.
But the ratio that you use it in is most important.
It's the ratio.
The ratio.
That's the secret.
Exactly. But if you put too much of rosemary, it's going to change the taste. If you put too much of thyme, you're going to get a different taste. So it's best to stick to the minimum, and you can always add on.
And if you want to get that recipe South Africa going, check it out on expressoshow.com. Tony has gracefully gave us all 3 of his recipes. You should try them, absolutely. So let's talk about the next one going in.
And then use the Robinson's Shisenyama spice.
Okay.
That's just to add the backup flavor to it. Once you got all 3, and then you just mix it again with your ends. Then you're going to come to like a dry paste, what you have now with the prawn.
That looks so good. And that's what we're going to fry off first. So we're going to seal in the flavor. We're actually going to get some of the flavor of the prawns and the spices and the herbs in our butter and oil. I mean, we're flavoring the oil that way, so we're building levels of flavor, which is quite important with curries. Yeah, and this is the first level.
If you look at the first product, this is what it should look like.
Nice.
That's our start-off product before it goes into the butter.
And it can go?
Yes,
okay.
we can go in.
There we go. So who taught you how to cook?
We started at a very young age. We've been in a diverse family. We had our mums and our grannies with us. You can start to get the smell already with the mixed up that's coming through.
It is. So it's the family that taught you. It's your aunts, your moms, your mom, your gran, you said?
Yes.
And now the responsibility is on you because you brought your son here today. Is he a good cook?
He's a brilliant cook.
He is a brilliant
cook.
Look at him smiling. And is it important for you to kind of hand down those recipes that you learned yourself to your kids?
Yes, it's 100%. 100%. Because times when we are busy, they're there to take reign and follow in the footsteps of carrying the curry to the next level.
Exactly.
Next generation.
What is your son's name?
Joshua.
Joshua's looking a little shy. Look at him sitting on the couch. He knows what's happening. He's not even so surprised. He knows the goodness that's about to come out of this kitchen. Joshua. So we're looking forward to having Joshua on the show one day with his amazing recipes.
Definitely you will. As it's turning there, then you can turn it around so it gets the flavors that are being monitored completely.
So once the prawns are done, we're going to take it out the pan. What goes in next?
Then you're going to get your onion with your chili, with your curry leaf.
Nice.
Add them individually.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, South Africa, I'm going to cheat a little bit. As you can see, my prawns are basically at that point we want to take it out. So we're going to get it out of the pan. We're going to go in with the onions and start building the next layer of flavor. So I like this dish. Well, I like all curries because of the fact that I always batch cook them because we know curries taste better the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yes.
So this is a great one to actually do in bulk. Yes. And maybe add a couple of extra bits of seafood. Am I changing a recipe too much? You can make like a medley of seafood?
You can, because normally the normal favorite is chicken and prawn curry.
Oh, yes.
But I'm doing a single prawn curry. So you can add other seafood mixes if you want to. But like I say, the flavors will not be the same.
Exactly, because I mean a pure prawn curry is just all about that sweet prawn flavor.
Yes.
I love that. So we've gone in with some curry leaves.
As this now soaks up the butter, you can just add in a little bit of oil.
So it's curry leaves, green chili, the onions are in, a little bit of oil. We're going to fry this off, and then we're going to go in with our spice mix.
Oh, spice mix.
And you've got a beautiful spice mix that you brought yourself. This is your own masala.
Yes.
It smells so fragrant. It's amazing. Maybe in the second part of the hotline, I might ask you what goes into your magic masala. How much of this do we add into the pan now?
Okay, the first thing that we're going to add is the turmeric.
Turmeric.
Turmeric goes in first.
And that's not just for that amazing color. You do get a bit of flavor from that as well.
Followed by the dhania jeera powder. Followed by the garam masala.
Smelling so good. It is smelling amazing. So the garam masala goes in, and now your beautiful masala paste.
We're going to put in 4.
Generous. And I like that. I see you got a bit of curry leaves in there as well. And for me, curry leaves in a curry just make curries taste instantly way better.
Yes, yes.
Can I add a little bit of oil to this?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so we're going to add a bit of oil to this. We're going to keep on sauteing this. The prawns are going to go back in. And when we come back to the next part of the hotline, we're going to finish up this amazing dish. Don't go anywhere. But also, I want to know, what's the one thing that father figure in your life makes that no one else can beat? Let us know. Send us a voice note on 063-408-8863. Don't go anywhere, because we will be back with more Culinary Hotline Bling!
Ting, ting, ting.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Curry in a hurry today. No, you've got to let your curry take time. So we're going to let those flavors develop in the kitchen, and we're going to have a little fun empowering our next viewer. When you want to level up in confidence, it starts with personal hygiene. That is the perfect place to start. In fact, and GynaGuard gave you the chance to win a 1,000 Rand GynaGuard hamper by telling us how you think you should practice feminine hygiene and how often. I'm so happy we are having this conversation. So a massive congratulations to our latest winner. Put those hands together for Ruwaida Muhammad. Congratulations, Ruwaida. She nailed this comment. Feminine hygiene should be practiced daily, starting with a feminine wash in the mornings, wearing cotton underwear, and keeping feminine wipes in your handbag to use throughout the day, especially when using public toilets. I think we're freaked out by the same things. Absolutely brilliant answer. Hashtag GynaGuard, hashtag free to just be. And we've got Ruwaida on the line right now. Ruwaida, very good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
I'm very good. I'm all the better for having this conversation every day. As the dad to a girl child, I'm so glad that this is an everyday conversation. So thank you so much for your brilliant entry. You are a winner. 1,000 Rands worth of GynaGuard products headed your way. So congratulations. I've got to ask
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. And as someone who's really thought this through, I've got to ask, what is your favorite GynaGuard product? What do you lean on the most?
I love the GynaGuard Ultimate Intimate Wash. It helps me stay fresh and confident throughout the day.
I absolutely love that. And I think a lot of women are gaining confidence from this product range because it speaks to what you need. So congratulations. Thank you so much for opening up and being brave to have this conversation with us. I know we are helping a lot of young girls take their first steps in this journey in such a powerful way. So thank you so much. As a dad to a girl child, I appreciate you, girl. Thank you.
Thank you. You've made my day.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. I love the fact that we can build confidence, not by big things, just small steps that you can start in your own life. And feeling great starts with personal moments that make you feel comfortable and confident and stand that chance of winning a GynaGuard hamper yourself to the value of 1,000 Rand. And this is how you do it. Take a look.
Catch Expresso this May as we highlight the importance of feminine hygiene, proudly brought to you by GynaGuard, who are also offering 10 Expresso viewers a chance to win their own hamper full of a comprehensive range of GynaGuard feminine hygiene products to the value of 1,000 Rand. Simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook, Instagram and Twitter pages using hashtag GynaGuard and hashtag #FreeToJustBe. That's this May from the 1st to the 31st right here on Expresso. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, we said curry in a hurry, so we are hurrying to bring you the curry. We have got some superstars in the kitchen. I'm talking about the smells coming out of this kitchen. Tony, oh my word, dude. For the Culinary Hotline, we are making delicious curries this morning. The first is well on the way. Bring us up to speed here, my friend.
Okay, what we saw earlier just before we ended, all the spices going into the pan. A little bit of water's gone in. Tony, if you can pass me your blender. So Tony and I, we've blended some tomatoes, some coriander, some green chili.
Ooh.
That's going to join the mix.
So this is heat on top of the heat.
Yes, and then Tony, how long would this simmer before we add the prawns back?
I think about 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes. So when we come back to the next part of the outline, the prawns are going to go back in for a swim.
I was going to say there's going to be nothing left by then, but I have a feeling it's going to be gone. But you can see from the oils that you've been developing over this period, from the start of the show, almost, you can see the flavour literally in the oil. Look at
oil.
that.
A little bit of pepper.
Take a bit of this, dab, 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 dab.
Hey, you never be alone. Never be alone a day in your life.
Nice.
Listen, after the break, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to see if I can catch our little Zozo out with a bit of a prank in slow-mo. Stick around for that. Lots of fun in the next 2 hours, but let's set off for the second hour with those news headlines, and we'll touch on the sport. It smells amazing.
Yes, while the gents are having fun in the kitchen, it's just about to go on the hour and it's time for national news headlines. Now, the latest quarterly crime statistics released by the Minister of Police, Becky Cmele, in Parliament yesterday show a few positive changes, but murders still on the increase. Now, 6,289 people were murdered between January and March, which is an increase of 206 compared to the same period last year. Now, most were in KwaZulu-Natal, the Western Cape, and Gauteng. Now, arguments of vigilantism and robberies topped the motive list for murder, and statistics point to a slight decrease in sexual assault, with reported rape cases down by 2.8% or 306 fewer cases. Well, sticking to national news headlines, the driver of the vehicle allegedly involved in yesterday morning's incident in Mitchell's Plain near Cape Town that claimed the lives of 5 primary school learners has been arrested. Now, the 55-year-old faces a charge of culpable homicide, and it's reported that the vehicle wasn't registered for scholar transport and that the driver hadn't gotten the necessary permit to transport passengers. Now, transport authorities say the driver lost control of the vehicle, after which it overturned and hit a bus. Our condolences definitely go out to all those affected in this incident. But for now, though, it's time to head over from national news headlines to international news. Now, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva yesterday defended increased economic, cultural, and social integration of South American countries as he opened a summit of a dozen leaders of the region in Brasilia. Now, Lula said development banks should work together to finance regional development and suggested coordinated actions by the countries to tackle climate change. Now, he also said South America needed to discuss establishing a regional market for energy while moving to reduce its dependence on extra-regional currencies to boost its trade. Well, sticking to international news headlines, Sudan's warring military factions agreed on Monday to a 5-day extension of a ceasefire agreement after renewed heavy clashes and airstrikes in the capital Khartoum had cast fresh doubts on the effectiveness of a truce designed to ease a humanitarian crisis. Now, Saudi Arabia and the US, which brokered a week-long ceasefire deal, announced on Monday evening that the parties had agreed to an extension. Now, although the ceasefire had been imperfectly observed, it had allowed the delivery of aid to an estimated 2 million people. Now, next up in our headlines, residents on Sunday called the Washoe County Sheriff's Office after discovering a bear stuck inside their crossover sedan in Nevada, US. Now, deputies rushed to the scene and had to devise an ingenious plan to free the bear, allowing the animal to escape without placing themselves in danger. Now, the officers used a long piece of rope to pull open the door from a very safe distance. Now, as the door opened, the bear hightailed it back into the woods. Well, that's all the headlines I have for you right now. It's time to head over to the latest when it comes to sport. And here's the G-Man with the latest to bear it all.
Well, some people are in hot water for bearing it all, and they shouldn't have been. We're talking about an illegal streaming gang who offered cut-price subscriptions for Premier League matches to more than 50,000 people, and they have now been, as a result, jailed. The Premier League said 5 men were convicted of conspiracy to defraud, money laundering and contempt of court after generating more than £7 million in 5 years. So Mark Gould was reported to have masterminded the operation and has been handed, as a result, an 11-year prison sentence at Chesterfield Crown Court. This last Tuesday, the group offered illegal access to matches from hundreds of channels around the world, as well as tens of thousands of on-demand films and TV shows. Now, we continue with controversy in sport off the field. Staying with football, Spartak Moscow's forward Quincy Promes is being prosecuted for his alleged involvement in drug trafficking. Now, the 31-year-old is accused of being involved in smuggling some 1,362 kilograms of cocaine to the Netherlands or Belgium. Dutch prosecutors announced this yesterday. The former Netherlands international was previously charged in 2021 with attempted manslaughter and assault. Now let's turn to the action on the courts as we focus on tennis. And second seed Daniil Medvedev was stunned by qualifier Thiago Seyboth-Wild in a big French Open first round shock. So the Russian battled windy conditions and, quote, a mouthful of clay. The Brazilian's outstanding forehand in a 7-6, 6-7, 2-6, 6-3 and 6-4 loss. And elsewhere, fourth seed Casper Ruud coasted into the second round with a 6-4, 6-3, 6-2 victory over the Swedish qualifier Elias Ymer, while Alex Zverev, he saw off South Africa's Lloyd Harris in straight sets. Then on the women's side of the draw, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff and Ons Jabeur all advancing to the next round as the big guns. Now, speaking of which, in Formula One, Red Bull's Chief Engineering Officer, Rob Marshall, will leave at the end of the year to join Formula One rivals McLaren. So McLaren said Marshall will take the role of Technical Director, Engineering and Design when he starts working on the 1st of January next year. Marshall has been at reigning champions Red Bull for 17 years, big part of their narrative, serving as chief designer from 2006 to 2016. He previously worked at Renault, helping them to both titles back in 2005 with Fernando Alonso. And who knows, he might be back to take another one. But we love all of that spice on and off the field. That's where we leave our sport. Let's hope the roads are a lot less noisy and controversial this morning. Let's get the latest on the traffic front.
Thank you so much, Shi. Yes, let's take a look at traffic this morning for many of you heading out on the roads. And if you are in the Cape Town area, and Gordons Bay to be specific, on the R44 on Clarence Drive, there are rocks that have fallen and may still fall due to the weather. So please do try use an alternative route until the road is safe to use so again. Sticking to Cape Town and moving to the city centre now, the roads have been closed due to a tree that has fallen, and this on the N2 inbound at Philip Khosana Drive. Now, please again use the alternative route and stay safe on the roads. Sticking to Cape Town, once again, Kales River now to be specific. There's congestion that started on the R300 northbound at the N1 inbound ramp. So again, do expect delays and plan your route accordingly. Now let's leave the mother city Cape Town. Let's head over to Pretoria and Menlo Park to be specific. There's been an accident on the N1 southbound, and this before Linwood Drive. Now the two right lanes are blocked, so please do approach this area carefully. And for anybody heading out on the roads this morning, please plan your route accordingly, buckle up and stay safe. It's time to head from the roads now to the sky and see what's happening the latest when it comes to weather. All right, reporting on weather news this morning. Now, members of disaster management in Oudtshoorn in the Little Karoo have warned residents not to attempt crossing bridges and roads that are flooded. Now, heavy rain has fallen in the area and several roads were closed in the town. Now, the municipality said it has had to assist several motorists who did not heed the warnings. Now, more precipitation is expected in the region, and the Grobelaars River is in flood, and the expectation is that much water will still come down from the Kango caves. Well, we move over from our, weather news to sunrise views, of course, and this one always putting a smile on our face. And for this 7 o'clock edition, we've got Wendy out in midstream, sharing pastel peachy tones, brightening up the sky. And wow, this is an artistic shot. Abstract, but beautiful nonetheless. I absolutely love it, Wendy. Next up, we've got Thowell in Klerksdorp, who shared a gentle violet view, this one glowing up the town. Another abstract shot, and this is really, really beautiful stuff indeed. I love it. Nicely done. Next up, we've got Rumba from Balito up in his apartment and snapped a flawless view of the sun's reflection over the ocean. This one is just inviting us all to take a dipper. I love it. And then last up, we've got Louise in Primrose, feeling incredibly blessed with these views, and they are just magical. I love how you started your day, Louise. Thank you for sharing this one with us. And to the rest of you, Mzansi, thank you for these incredible pictures. Keep it coming on 063-408-8863, and we'll do it all again in an hour and see what you've got for us. For now, though, let's take a look at the temperatures once again. Starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at a low of 11 up to a high of 24 degrees. You can move over to Mbombela and see similar conditions with the rain from 15 all the way up to 25 degrees. Pretoria sees the day starting at a low of 5 up to a high of 21 with lots of rain and thunder coming through, and much the same for Johannesburg. 4 is your low up to a high of 18 with a lot of wet conditions expected. Carrying on now, moving over to Mahikeng now. A chilly start of 1 degree to start the day, moving up to a high of 19. Klerksdorp brings the chill and carries on from 1 degree all the way to only 18. Kimberley, it's even colder. You start your day at 0 and move up to a max of only 11 degrees Celsius. And Bloemfontein, much the same. Wet conditions, -1 to start the day, moving up to a max of only 11 degrees Celsius. Carrying on around the coast now and over to Richards Bay, where the day starts at a low of 17 up to 26 degrees. Wet conditions expected there, and the same for Pietermaritzburg. From 10, you move up into a high of 22 degrees. Durban, the wet conditions continue from 16 all the way up to 23 in Mthatha. Carrying on the rain from 7 all the way up to 17 degrees Celsius. Carrying on around the coast now and over to East London, we always hope that this rain lands in the catchment areas. So starting your day off at 13, you move up to a high of 20 degrees, wet conditions expected. Much the same for Craddock. From 3 degrees, you move up to a high of 14. Over in GQ Gqeberha, the day starting at a low of 8 up to a high of 20 degrees Celsius. And George, carrying on with the wet conditions from 12, you move up to a high of only 18 degrees Celsius. Around the coast now, carrying over to the mother city, Cape Town. Chilly conditions continue from 12 only up to a high of 18 degrees. Worcester sees the day starting at 9 up to a high of 18. Sutherland, a chilly start of 3 degrees, moving up to a high of 12. And, oh, sorry, I forgot Worcester up there in the mix. It was 9 up to a high of 18. And last but not least, Uppington, 3 is your low, up to a high of 17 degrees Celsius. Again, Mzansi, thank you so much for those incredible pictures. Speaking of pictures and speaking of capturing, G did something very interesting with the new Galaxy. Let's check it out.
Oh, we know on this show, laughter is the best breakfast companion on our feel-good breakfast show. So armed with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which is just beautiful and incredibly powerful, we capture those hilarious behind-the-scenes moments and share the epic laughter with you. So what I've done today is set something up. Our Zozo is a sucker for a big fright, and we love it. And I've got our amazing social media team helping me out. So I think I've designed the perfect prank, or I've got it almost up my sleeve because I've rolled my sleeves up. And we're going to try and catch Zozo out so we can put these brilliant functions to the test to capture a very magical moment. So I'm going to get set up, and any moment now, an unsuspecting Zozo should be wandering in for what she thinks is just a normal recorded segment. So Zoe, your timing is perfect. Not being the most technically gifted, I'm taking a bit of time to get to terms with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which is just like the Galaxy Ultra 23, which is on a different level. This is a quantum leap forward. So what I love about this is you can use it obviously as a remote. So you can take your selfies, your group selfies, or you can kind of use that as a remote to keep yourself in, if you're doing a solo vlog, keep yourself in frame. But when you combine it with the Galaxy S23 Ultra, that's when you can start having some real fun. So I can set up a phone somewhere to take the selfie, and I can control it to the degree of zooming in for amazing, unforgettable moments just like this.
So I must look at the phone.
Wow. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can hear the evil laugh in the background. I absolutely love it. I mean, never mind the gorgeous design.
Naughty.
It's beautiful, but you can have a lot of fun with that. But
this looks good on you.
It's beautiful. I think it looks very good on me, guys. I think it might just have to hang around. The extension of style, but the extension of the functionality of the phone. Absolutely beautiful. Kind of goes with the color scheme today as well. That's absolutely stunning. But I love the fact, we've been honing in on what content creators need and want. In this package, we know about the power of the camera and what that phone can do. But with the 5 Pro on your hands, it's a different game.
A complete different game. I mean, okay, yes, well done. You guys definitely got me there. But you know how often you've seen videos where, like, the mom-to-be surprises the dad to say, we are pregnant, or whatever the story might be, and then there is a hidden camera, and I always wonder, how do do they not realize the camera is there? And now you can be super sneaky. You can already put your phone down, just activate it all on your watch, and then boom, capture those special moments.
I'm thinking sort of, proposals, it might work, the baby news, it might work. But I think in the context of content creation, you can have so much fun. You've got an entire production team resting on your arm and in your pocket. And we love the fact that you can share the epic on a different level now every day on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So let's take a moment to watch that reaction one more time, just because we have to, and we can.
Ready? Wow. Mia, can you send me that? Sure. Can you send me that? Hey, can you send me that? Sure.
Make every training day epic. Buy the Galaxy S23 series at the Galaxy Watch 5 or Watch 5 Pro and get free Galaxy Buds 2 Pro valued at $3,999. T's and C's apply.
A world full of intense aromas and velvety smooth crema, protected by a premium aluminium capsule. Magical Jacob's Aroma.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining a vitally important conversation this morning. And I love the fact that we get to hone in on this, yes, today, but it should be every day. So the 31st of May marks World No Tobacco Day, which is a global campaign by the World Health Organization. The 2023 theme for this day is We Need Food, Not Tobacco. Quite a statement. And this morning, we have the privilege of speaking with experts and advocates who are actively involved in raising awareness about the harmful effects of tobacco and promoting a tobacco-free world. Dr. Catherine Egbe from the South African Medical Research Council sat in the center of our couch. Dr. Sharon Ntsiatsanza from the National Council Against Smoking, and Lorraine Govender from the Cancer Association of South Africa. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a vitally important day. I understand that this is where you live your day every year. How do you feel? Maybe I can start with you, Dr. Sharon. If we have this upswing in interest, in focus, the whole medical fraternity and those organizations all feeding into just for this one day, what is your hope in your heart of hearts that we will achieve on a day like today? Why is this so important to you?
So I think this actually is very important, and I'm passionate about tobacco control because I believe that the role we're playing in trying to, move the world to a tobacco-free society is important for, protecting human rights, protecting health, protecting the economy. So my hope really is to get to a world one day when no one dies of tobacco use or exposure to tobacco smoke.
Because it feels like we are fighting so hard to find solutions to medical problems, and this one we know. We know the solution. We know what we have to do. Dr. Egbe, I don't know who would be best placed to take us through this. The Global Adult Tobacco Survey conducted in 2021. Obviously, these sorts of moments do highlight, when we see it in numbers, it can drive home. Where do we sit in terms of the world's relationship to tobacco right now?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I was the principal investigator for the Global Adult Tobacco Survey, so it's my baby, kind of.
Congratulations then, I suppose.
Yes. So it was South Africa's first attempt to do the Global Adult Tobacco Survey, so joining a good number of other nations.
Global powerhouses.
So what we found in 2021, remember it was lockdown, so it was quite a challenge, but we pulled through. So we found that about almost 30% of South Africans are using one form of tobacco products or the other.
A third.
Which is quite troubling because we are the highest in prevalence in the whole of Africa, of all the African countries that have done GATS.
Dare I ask, with this period, you mentioned COVID, so much of the pressure point was around the grey, black market area of cigarettes. Have you seen a shift or a change? Do you think that played a part?
No, I don't think it played a part. In fact, it could really contribute to underestimating the prevalence because a lot of people didn't have access. Albeit the illicit trade story, not everyone had access, and it was quite pricey then. So some people couldn't even afford it. So
indirectly, it might have helped the situation in a very South African way.
We could have just blown over 30%, and that is quite troubling because before now we were sitting in the 20s, and we were really worried about the 20s, and now we're getting to the 30s, and it's something we need to all really be very, very worried about.
Well, it's a knock-on effect on the health system, on the organisations that have to support the knock-on effect. Let's talk about cancer. Let's talk about the relationship between cigarettes and cancer. When we talk about these sorts of record highs of people using tobacco, how does that translate in your sphere?
Yeah, it is a huge concern. If you think about tobacco use, so tobacco is responsible primary cause for lung cancer. And if you think about where does lung cancer feature in terms of prevalence in South Africa, it's among the top 5 cancers. Now, when we think about tobacco use, we only think lung cancer, but tobacco use is also related to 15 different types of cancers. Now, bringing it home again, if you think about one of the top cancers among men, prostate cancer, colon cancer, among women, breast, cervical cancer, all of that have an attribution to tobacco use. So second, and tobacco use, it not only affects the person who's using it, but also the bystander. Secondhand smoke has got over 7,000 chemicals. And 69 of this can cause cancer, and 16 has been classified as group 1 carcinogens. So that alone can tell you that people often don't realize the impact of it, not only on themselves, but by the people that they are exposing.
And I mean, this is a South African story. How often do you see a mother holding a baby with a cigarette in the mouth? It's ignorance. We just don't know. If we haven't got the message across yet with these sorts of numbers, what is it going to take? We're going to delve into that conversation in just a moment.
Yeah, and let's keep that conversation going right now, actually, and let's have it with you, Mzansi. So obviously we've been talking about today being a no-smoking day. So we want to celebrate our loved ones and those who have beat their nicotine addiction. So the question we asked you was, how long has it been since you smoked a cigarette, if ever? So we asked you to share some of your views with us, and the comments have been coming through. Carol's starting us off, and she says, someone very close to me quit 25 years ago and never looked back. The withdrawals were intense, but she says it was worth it because she was pregnant for her first son and made a choice that he was more important than her smoking addiction. Nice. I recall her going through a real tough time letting it go, eating bubble gums by the packs, biltong and fruits, but I think the biltong did it for her because till today she gets crazy over biltong. My hat off to my awesome friend. Well, Carol, congratulations. Oh, that is such incredible news that your friend has gone through, and I like the fact that she picked up a new habit on biltong. Vanessa Gubson says, I stopped 8th of October 2021. Best decision of my life. Yay, Vanessa, I'm celebrating with you, and the rest of us are too. Tony says, today my partner is not smoking for a year. He just stopped. He has been motivating me to stop also, but it's harder than I thought. Well, he's showing you how easy it's done. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary, I guess. And I'm wishing you, Mzansi, everyone else trying to stop quitting, well, to stop smoking and start quitting that nicotine addiction, nothing but the best of luck. It starts within, and you can think about the conversations we're having right now to incentivize you to do just that.
Join the bank that's best for your loan.
Choose up to 200 Rand cashback monthly with a personal loan. Apply for a personal loan and a Savvy account today. Nedbank, see money differently.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue our very important conversation around World No Tobacco Day. The theme for 2023 being we need food, not tobacco. And our experts join us again to put this in its place, the new tobacco control bill here in South Africa. And I'm so glad that we are seeing this kind of response at that level. Yes, we cry that no one is changing despite all of these big numbers. Who would like to talk us through the bill itself? What does this actually mean? I don't know who wants to jump on this. Doc?
Yes, the bill is now before Parliament. And really our call to action is we want South Africa to support the bill. But the bill is not something new. We've been going over this for years. And the bill is trying to just basically reduce the number of people who smoke and importantly reduce the number of kids who start to smoke. So it's kind of an improvement on current laws. The bill regulates, for example, e-cigarettes, which are not regulated at all at the current, in the current space. It, for example, ensures that we have pictorial health warnings instead of just text health warnings. So it's basically just trying to step in to improve the situation because industry, as we know it, will not sleep. It will keep evolving.
You've got lobbyists, you've got people campaigning like politicians on behalf of the money. So how do we fight that? Because I don't think there are a lot of people campaigning on behalf of the money on your side of this, this battle. The information that you've developed, the fact that we seem to be following an international roadmap. We know that, for instance, within Australia, they've used very graphic warnings, and that has worked to a degree, but a very different socio-economic setup. With the information that we have now, what's the best way to use it? Is the bill going to do this? How do we supplement what's being done on the highest level through those structures that you represent to get this over the line? What do we need to do you think, Doc?
Yeah, I think the support is one. And I think that people also need to understand why the bill is in place. We know that there's a lot of misinformation campaign right now. We've heard of people saying, no, the bill is going to put you in prison when you smoke in your house. It's gonna... So there's a lot of...
Clickbait.
So we hope that people would understand the fact that this is about their lives as well. This is about the health of the nation. And so if, for example, you are concerned about people's health, you should be very supportive of the bill.
Well, we've seen what the pressure a major health crisis can put on everybody, just not because our medical system just can't deal with that. I've got to discuss the e-cigarette thing, and not from a doctor's perspective, because I want to look at it because there isn't the data to support the link between cancer and e-cigarettes and all these things which we know pretty much will emerge at some point.
Definitely.
What do we know about e-cigarettes? And when you saw this massive mushroom in interest and uptake, how did that make you feel coming from your perspective? Were you terrified?
I was terrified because we do a lot of community engagement and engagement with youth as well. So when we go out there and we do educational talks with them and you ask them, so do you smoke? No, I'm using e-cigarettes. Do you know the harms? No. It's just cool. It feels nice. It tastes nice. And it's so freely available. So I thought it was safe. So Although there isn't really the crux scientific information that we are requiring in terms of nicotine and cancer, however, there is research out there that shows the gateway to cigarettes. And that's what's come out internationally. So people that have used e-cigarettes have switched to normal smoking. And again, that addiction. And what is so scary is the youth, they are so easily influenced by the industry. The fact that e-cigarettes is manufactured by the tobacco industry already tells us that it's not safe.
You don't really need to look beyond that, to be quite honest.
And we know that whatever, if you think about cancer, whatever we do now doesn't affect us immediately. It has a long-term effect. In the same way, the safety of e-cigarettes has not been validated as yet. So I think it's definitely a caution to the youth and people who are using e-cigarettes.
Can I chip in something there?
Yeah.
So with regards to the health effects of e-cigarette, even though we don't know everything, I usually would say it took about 100 years to know what we know about cigarettes.
For sure.
So e-cigarettes is just new, but we have data showing that it's harmful. We already have data showing that some of the things that you don't even find in cigarettes, you find in e-cigarette. E-cigarette has ultrafine particles that have greater access to your system. So we have some other products that, like, of course, the what do you call it, the propylene glycol, some of the components of e-cigarettes are not there in cigarettes.
Yeah.
So we have an additional level of harm. And of course, there is nicotine poisoning that is happening a lot, that we don't hear a lot about.
Oh, and it'll happen. I think what people don't realize is the big advancements in medicine now has been data correlation.
Yeah.
We are now seeing everything, and we are crunching those numbers, and we are seeing the deaths, the socioeconomic links. We are seeing the pressure that this global collective human problem, it's for everybody. So see who you can convert today. There are helplines available to help you stop. We'll have all of those details up. But most importantly, think about the world, the genetic imprint that you want to hand over to your kids. We have a role to play today. Maybe it's as simple as just quitting.
Thank you, G. Now, we love our coffee, but I'm here this morning to find out how much you know about your coffee. Well, we're about to find out because we're about to have a coffee quiz. And this morning, I've got Ryle and soon-to-be G joining me for this amazing quiz. He was going to walk away with that golden coffee. This guy. Okay, so I've made you both some Jacob's Gold freeze-dried coffee, which is quite fitting.
Yeah.
Because hopefully it's going to give you some inspiration and some knowledge for the quiz we're about to have this morning.
Sure.
Okay, so do you know your coffee? He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
Intimately, I really know my coffee. I love my coffee.
I'm scared.
Maybe that's a better way of saying it is I love my coffee.
You love your coffee?
I'm not a coffee snob.
No?
So I don't know. I will literally drink
anything.
I've
seen that, yes, you proved
and just enjoy it in varying degrees.
Okay.
So, but if I need the coffee, I'll drink the coffee, man. But yes, I'm interested to find out.
So please help yourself to your coffee. So we love our Jacob's Gold freeze-dried coffee. We love its smooth, rich aroma, the aromatic flavor, which is why I've got the two of you here.
Thank you.
One of you is smooth, one of you is mild. I'm the aromatic one. Let's get started off with our first question.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
So G, if you know, apparently it says here, if you know the answer, you need to shout, Captain.
Captain.
And Ryle, if you know the answer, you need to shout, Sister Bettina. I don't make this up. I don't make this up.
Jeez,
Okay.
Who wrote the script for this one?
Here we go. Coffee is the second largest traded commodity in terms of value. Which is the first? Gold, petroleum, or wheat?
Captain.
Here we go, captains on the mark. Here we go.
You guessing here? Petroleum.
Petroleum. Let's find out. Is the answer petroleum? It's petroleum! Captain has his first score. There we go.
That's a good one.
Question 2. Which country has the highest coffee consumption per capita? This is an interesting one, okay? Is it Brazil, America, or Finland?
Ooh, what's mine? Not Captain, it's Sister Bettina.
Yeah. Sister Bettina, yes.
I actually know this, so I'm going to go with a guess here. But I'm going to go with, what did you say was Brazil?
Brazil, America, or Finland?
I feel like Brazil, maybe. I don't know.
I'm going to have to say, sorry.
Can I say, I want to say Finland because it just seems so out of place there.
It's Finland.
Is it Finland?
There's like 10 people in Finland. How?
Those 10 do their work.
Always nighttime.
Finland consumes on average 12 kgs of coffee per person per year. That's 24 bricks of butter.
So a little bit, that is. Just a little bit.
Bro, you may be Finnish. Is that?
It is. Okay,
The
talking
beginning,
about
the end, and the finish.
talking about consumption. Question 3. On average, South Africans consume how many cups of coffee per year? Okay, 550 million, 100 million, or 20 million?
I don't even know. How much do you consume a year?
55 million, I think so.
I don't even know.
Anyone?
Okay, wait, so South
Captain?
Africans consume how many cups of coffee per year?
550 million, 100 million, or 20 million.
I'm gonna Sister Bettina this one. Sister Bettina. If you take into account what do we have in this country, is it like?
I'm gonna say A, bro. I'm gonna say Captain.
I'm going with B as well, just because I think like not everyone.
No, you're going because you're a loser. That's why I'm going with B, bro.
What is it? Order. The point goes to Captain. The point goes to Captain. 550 million.
I'm so proud of you, South Africa.
There we go.
I'm so proud.
Whoa.
I'm so proud of this country right now.
Let's go. Question 4. Which of these is not a type of coffee bean? Arabica, Robusta, or Colombia? Sister Bettina.
It's got Arabica, definitely. What was that one?
Robusta?
Yes.
Sounds right.
Or Colombia?
Nah, surely not. Colombia, surely not.
Sister Bettina, your answer's locked in.
Yeah!
You got it. Okay.
Colombia do make
Okay, question 5. Which country is the world's biggest coffee bean producer? Vietnam, Brazil, or Colombia?
Now I want to go with Brazil.
I want to say Vietnam.
Okay.
They're just awesome.
Is that a Captain answer?
Captain?
Captain is locked it in for Vietnam. Let's see.
Must be Brazil.
Oh, it's Brazil.
You see, I was answering this question earlier.
Yeah, there we go. Well done.
In the game.
Well done,
Question
sister.
6. Okay, let's see. We got the answer. Question 6? No, we've got the answer ready. Let's see.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
What color are coffee beans in their raw, unroasted form?
Captain.
Captain.
You didn't even need options.
Captain.
Wow.
Captain.
What is it?
I'm going to go with C, green.
Captain. Okay, last question.
Okay.
Which one of these root plants is often used as a coffee substitute? Chicory.
Sister Bettina.
Sister Bettina.
Definitely chicory, man.
Definitely. Chicory on the board.
You don't even need other options.
I've never think we've said rutabaga on air before. Can we say rutabaga?
Chicory. So, there has been zero order in this game. I have no clue what the score is. Let's find out upstairs.
Rutabaga!
Who's the rutabaga?
The team upstairs has literally replied with, "We have no idea." so everyone's a winner.
Winner. 550 million. I'm so proud of you.
Sister Bettina, absolutely amazing. You both did well. South Africa, hope you're playing along. Go and check this out. If you love your coffee, then treat yourself by only drinking the best and choosing to drink 100% real coffee like Jacob's Gold and Jacob's Kroning. And if you haven't made your morning cuppa yet, then this is your sign to do it.
And extra
17 cups a second, that's crazy.
Here's to the coffee magicians. The ones who know what you get out starts with what you put in.
And we're back with another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! We're getting a Culinary Hotline curry masterclass. It's 101 today. We're going back to basics and learning the fundamental stages of making an amazing, amazing curry. Tony Munsami has been here. That prawn curry, amazing. I actually want to bring your eyes over here. So you saw that big pan of curry that we made earlier. This is all that's left of it now. Culprits. Who has gone and started snacking on the prawn curry? We'll find out soon. But Tony, a prawn curry, absolutely a massive hit. What's next on the menu?
Now we have the normal traditional lamb curry. Lamb curry.
Like I said, normal. Ain't nothing normal about a good lamb curry.
In an Indian household, lamb curry, divine.
Divine. So let's get started. So we've got beautiful looking lamb. We've got our pan. We've got some oil in there that's been heating up already.
Okay, we're just going to add a little bit more oil to the pan.
What people sometimes miss out is the fact that with a curry, oil carries flavor. So you need a good amount, not crazy, you need a decent amount of oil there to help that curry, the flavor of the curry carry through. So I like the fact we're going with the oil, plus then lamb's got its own little bit of oil there as well, which where the flavor's at.
If you look at the meat that we have here, it's quite nice. It doesn't have too much of fat on it, so which is good. That's why I didn't put too much of oil. So because the fat from here will render into the oil and also flavor the oil as well.
Yes.
So
okay.
As we got the oil there, we're going to add our dry spice. Oh, sorry.
No worries. Let me get that. So what we're doing now is we're going to start with our dry spices. We're going to toast those spices.
Our clove.
And that way we're actually seasoning the oil. And I love that. And we're also wakening up the flavors of the spices.
And our bay leaf, we're going to make sure that we break it in two halves so the flavor from inside gets exposed.
I never do that. That's amazing.
Yes,
I'm going to be doing it from now on.
Because once you break it, you actually open it up.
Okay.
And it exposes once in the oil and it's simmering, you get the flavor coming out.
You learn something new every day. That's amazing. Your heat is on there. Okay, those are in there. So we're looking for a little bit of like a popping, a little bit of a sizzling, and we know that it's
as it's going now, that's normal. Then just leave it a few more seconds. As you can see, the bubbles in there. Once you've got that, then you're going to add your onion.
So when it comes to cooking at home,
yes,
I know you're an absolute pro, but have you assigned tasks to the other members of the family? So if it's curry, it's Joshua's job to peel the onions and garlic. Is it a family event or is it just you? Do you prefer being alone in the kitchen?
Honestly, I prefer to do everything myself.
That's okay.
Because then you've got control, you know exactly what goes where and how you're going to assemble it.
Yes,
And
you don't want Joshua adding 5 chilies instead of 2. Exactly. I get you.
When it comes to Joshua, he actually likes the little bit more spicy part of it. So
he does like spice?
Yes.
Okay.
If I have to leave this to Joshua, he'll most probably put 3 or 4 chilies.
Okay, so I was right there. Joshua likes it spicy. Nice. Okay, cool. This is happening, getting fragrant, the green chili. Also, I love the fact that a lot of people just tend to go red chili. I love the flavor, the citrusy notes you get from green chili. It's a different type of heat, but that almost citrusy, zesty flavor you get from that chili. Green chili, it's the only one that can do that. So things are looking good, smelling amazing. What's next?
Okay. As you got that, then we add in our turmeric. As you can see now, the onion has gone translucent, it's falling down. Then you put in your turmeric.
It is smelling so good.
Then your jeera powder, your garam masala. And once again, the secret ingredient.
The secret ingredient. Okay, let's go through it. You don't have to share all of it unless you want to. What's in your masala mix?
Okay, basically in the masala mix, you got the Durban people known the spice that's called aromba rosi. It's simply an own mix, and then you add it with the Bombay mix.
Okay, so
in a small ratio of quarter of the Bombay mix with the half of the aromba rosi, and thereafter we add in ginger and garlic.
Ginger garlic. So do we add water to this one, or are we going to go straight in with the tomato?
We're going to go straight in with the tomato.
Okay, so we blended up the tomato. Was it just tomato we blended up this time?
No, same.
The coriander, green chili, tomato, blend. I love that. Okay, so that can come and join the mix.
Also join the mix here now.
So
as we join the mix,
I noticed we haven't browned off our lamb first, which is something I learned with a curry. You don't have to brown off the lamb, and it's also you get a better texture from it.
Correct.
Because you're not sealing the outside; it remains soft and kind of just leans and falls into the sauce a little easier.
And then we had our salt.
And salt is also very important. You can have the most amazing spices in your curry, but if you don't have enough salt in there, you're not going to taste a thing. Cool, so that goes in there.
And now we're going to have a little bit of water.
Say when, say when.
A little bit more. Right.
There we go. So we're keeping it nice and thick, and I love that. Sometimes I prefer a thicker curry, especially when it's lamb.
Yes.
You know it's going to coat the rice or whatever you're eating with it really well. And also with the seafood one, sometimes that's quite nice to have a bit of thinner gravy with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, this is smelling, looking amazing. That crimson red, you know it's about to taste good. Is this when we add the lamb to it?
No, not yet. We just need to leave the tomato to cook in. Because basically, we're going to put... The tomato has got its own flavor.
Yes.
So if you do not cook the tomato with the spices, you're going to get a different texture of taste.
Right, you're gonna get more of the acidity, more of the wateriness coming out of the tomato, so you want to cook it down.
So you have to cook it down, and then as it is going down, you will see the oil starts to come up.
And I was about to ask you about that, because I also have been taught, once you see the oil take on the color of the spices, that's when you know you're ready for the next step.
Yes.
So can we fast forward and add that lamb to it?
Yes, we can.
So the
Definitely.
beautiful lamb going in. How long would you cook this for? Because here's the thing.
Give and take the cut of lamb that you're using. Like, for example, if you're using the leg portion, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
On the leg portion. And then if you're using the chop part, it's a little longer. The neck part is even more longer, like about 25 to 30 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we're actually eating
lamb
quickly.
cooks differently.
I thought that was good for like a couple of hours, but no, you're saying that's enough time.
No. That's only to get the lamb to a point where you're going to add the potatoes.
Oh, there's more then. You add the potatoes and you cook it further. Tony, we are going to come back and we're going to finish this up. South Africa, don't forget to send your voice notes through. That number is 063-408-8863. Don't go anywhere. There'll be more Culinary Hotline bling.
Ching, ching, ching.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, I'm here for this. Welcome back, you beauties. Get ready for a once-in-a-lifetime French adventure with Clover. Simply grab any Clover product. There are many to choose from, and you get your chance to embark on an unforgettable rugby experience.
I can't even believe it. I mean, imagine this, the exhilarating showdown between South Africa and Scotland, immersed in the electrifying atmosphere. And that's not all. Listen to this. 5 lucky winners and their partners will sail from the port of Marseille on a cruise to the breathtaking paradise of Ibiza, making it a journey filled with excitement, beauty, and and unforgettable memories. Come
This is
on.
insane.
Can we just
we are not.
like...
We're going to pretend to be a couple right now. We're going to enter, okay? But we know on the show, yes, rugby is more than just a sport in South Africa. It's a passion that literally unites this nation.
Yeah.
So we are going to have a little bit of fun now and do a quiz against each other, but I don't understand how this is going to work. Am I testing you? Are you testing me? I think we need to bring in the ultimate games master. Someone with an iron will. Lucian Albertine, please step in.
Royalty has
goodness.
arrived.
Oh, that makes me nervous. Look at that face. Look at that face. Boss, we need a little bit of help here. It's time to put us...
Are you guys ready?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
against
anymore.
G, so I don't know if I'm ever going to be.
Do you know the things?
I don't know, actually.
You're a world champion. You must know them.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Now, here's the rules.
Okay.
Out of you will cheer as if you've won the Clover's exciting competition.
Wow, okay.
I want to hear your cheer, and once you've done your cheer, only after I've read the question.
Okay, okay.
After, and then I will give you the opportunity to give the answer.
Okay.
So, Graham, your cheer.
That's what I would sound like. I would.
Really?
I would be like, dance!
Go, do it again.
Yeah, that sounds painful.
It is,
like
it
an
is. It's the pain of getting my... It's exactly what it sounds like, actually.
Woo!
Nice, nice, I like it.
Just the woo!
Okay, are you guys ready?
Ready.
I am.
So wait, just to confirm, do we say that after you ask the question?
Yeah.
First person.
That's like our
Okay,
buzzer.
just want to make sure.
Can you deduct a point for this kind of nonsense? Oh.
Question number one.
Right.
Who is often referred to as beast?
Woo!
Raul, after I've done the question.
Man, see, I had to listen. One job.
Cool, I'm going to read this again. Question one. Who's often referred to as beast and known as his powerful rugby and scrumming carrying skills? Who is that person?
The pterodactyl got me there. Hold on,
It is.
pterodactyl.
He just swoops in. Tendai, the beast, Mtwararira.
That is
Must
a success.
Be, because he is the most wonderful human being on the planet. Look at that face, man. We love him.
Graham, 1 point. Raul, please catch up. Question number two.
Okay.
Known as one of the best flankers in the world, Skulkberger was inducted into the Rugby Pass Hall of Fame in which year?
I don't even know.
Graham?
Worse. I don't know. 2015. I don't know.
No, that's wrong. That is a hot mess. The question is 2021.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that took a while.
Why did you wait so long?
Yeah, why did you wait so long, man?
Come on. We knew. Even back then, we knew. Okay.
Raul, anytime you can catch up.
Yeah, I'm going to play with now.
Question number three.
Sure, this is tough, eh?
Who famously said, we can achieve anything if we work together as one after a World Cup win. Cool, Raul?
I was going to say Mandela, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's Siya Kolisi. There was a recent one. Yes.
He might have been paraphrasing Tata
He might have,
Madiba,
yeah.
so I think you would have been right with both answers. Well done, man.
Graham
well
one,
done.
Raul one.
Oh, I'm in the game. Whoa,
Cool.
against G.
Next question. Name the player.
Okay.
In February 2018, his appendix burst and spent 3 days in intensive care with doctors telling him his season is over. Yet, just 4 months later, he was starting as a hooker for the Springboks against England.
I'm just thinking.
Name the player.
I've got two names, and I don't know which. I know it could be either. I'm going to go with Malcolm Marx.
Wasn't it? Can I just question?
Go with
It
Bongi
might
and
have been
just-
Bongi, right?
Yeah, just go with Bongi and one
I'm
of
going
us
to go with Bongi. Just...
Raul is right.
Well done. Well done. Very, very
I actually
good.
vaguely remember that, man. I was actually going through some appendix issues myself back then.
And an absolute machine.
Nice.
I'm impressed with Raul.
What's
That's
going
very
on
good.
up against this guy?
Come on.
Clearly you Googled this.
Malcolm right now is like, my appendix,
Next question. Name any one of only 6 players who have played over 100 test games for South Africa. Okay, 6.
I would say Victor Matfield.
Oh, he's like the highest,
Cool.
I think.
I mean, he's got to be the O-est of the G's.
I'm pretty sure Brian Abana maybe has a...
Well, you both have it right.
Yeah! Okay, you didn't get there first, though. Well done.
It's Percy Montgomery,
Brian was still
Jean de
playing.
Villiers, Brian Abana, Victor Matfield, Tendai, the best, Mtawarira, and John Smith.
Wow, that is royalty right there. That is royalty.
So, Rouse on 3, Graham on 2.
Sure, come on, come on.
Cool.
All right,
last question. Which rugby team has the second highest winning percentage in Test rugby out of all the major Test-playing nations? Graham?
South Africa.
I was going to say, it's definitely not New Zealand because they're like on top.
Well, it is South Africa, but it's the Springboks.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, we're second. Yeah.
I can tell you this.
Okay.
It's a success because we both have a tie.
I feel like this is a special moment. I feel like this is a special moment.
I've got your attention. Good. Enter simply by any product from Clover. Keep your slip in handy. Dial *120 *56 hash. I'll repeat that again. *120 *560 hash. And follow the prompts to enter. It's just like that. Simple. Watching Expresso every single day to find out more information. T's and C's do apply, and that means terms and conditions. And you can find this on clover.co.za.
Now we get a smile. Look at that. Yeah, thank you. Well done.
Can we go on the cruise now? Does that mean we...
As a couple, we can go together.
You want to be my plus one?
I love you.
I'm no plus one. I am the one.
The chaperone.
Well done, guys. That was a success.
Yay!
Well, you got to go now?
Oh, yes, of course. And speaking of celebration, speaking of all things entertainment, it's time for me to do something special because we've got to perform in town, yeah?
Oh, buddy, it's going to be amazing. A chance to move that coffee table and get yourself up and moving. So here's the deal. If you think you could have done better than us in this rugby quiz, this is the time to share the gears. And if you want to get yourself on this once-in-a-lifetime trip, make sure you stop by our website and get all of those terms and conditions. Raul, I'm going to send you on your way, man, to go get up and moving. If you want to figure out which one of us is the better dancer, I don't know if this is going to be the opportunity, but what it does do is give us the chance to move the coffee table and get up and moving.
Oh, yes, get up and get moving. And we're going to do exactly that. Now, we're joined by a very special guest. Now, his name is Mzingisi Zikmumo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's otherwise known as Mkazido. Yes. Dude, how you doing, man? Did I pronounce it correctly?
Not correct. It's Sikomo.
Sikomo.
Try again.
Sikomo.
Yeah, that's correct.
We got it. All right, we got it. Now, listen, he's an artist. He was scouted from the show called Deal or No Deal South Africa on SABC 1, where you play a thrilling once-in-a-lifetime game to stand the chance of walking away with cash. Now, the cash could range from R1 to 250,000 Rand. So, I think we should officially give him a big welcome to the show. Yeah. Welcome, my man. It's official. It's good to have you here. This is really cool, man. But I got to ask you, what were the reasons for you entering the show in the first place, bro?
Come on, I want money.
Who wants money? I want my moolah. I want to get that bag of 250K. What was the experience like?
Yeah, the experience was good, but the reason why I entered the show is because I'm an artist, so I wanted to improve the level of art in Kailicha. So I said I must go to a show so I can get money and go, so I can buy some stuff to sort of improve my career.
Look, it was a good game. You didn't come away with like the top prize, of course, but you still got some cash nonetheless. And I love the way you played. I love the way you performed there. It was something for me which I absolutely love to see. Something that I realized was that I think there was a banker and there was an amount of like 10,000 Rand in total. Was that correct?
Yeah, it was. That's what I went home with, 10,000.
That's huge, dude. That is awesome. Now, what went through your mind? Obviously, playing the strategy, it's a game of literally sometimes hit and miss. You can come away with nothing, but you claimed the goods. Was that obviously relief for you? What was that feeling actually like?
I wanted more, you know. I wanted more, but you know what? I was happy with what I got because I could have got 5 Rand, but I went home with 10,000. So at least that money helped me to do some other stuff.
And I mean, you're not a loser at all because not only did you win the cash, but look at where you are right now, man. Also, the fact that I hear you a singer, a songwriter. How did that all start? Where did that begin for you?
Yeah, I started when I was in primary school. I was in primary school. My teachers used to give me that self-esteem. Yeah, you're a good tenor, so you must sing a solo. Every time when there's a solo, they give it to me. So that grew into me. So even if you come to me and tell me, hey, you can't sing, Magazine, I said, no, you know what? My teacher told me I can sing.
Yeah.
I know I can sing. So
I believe in
you. And grew from there and I started writing music and it grew. And I'm here now.
You're here now,
Yeah.
man. Matt's making his way through TV channels,
Sure.
mediums, and spaces, and you've arrived in front of a live audience in front of South Africa. We're going to be doing something special now. What are you going to be performing?
I'm a guitar. I wrote this song last year. Makitara means it's a guitar. So there's a noise, there's music playing, so it's guitar playing. So dance.
Right.
So it's also about me. Like I would say, it's an affirmation, because I'm affirming Mzito, boss. I'm the boss. I'm the king. You see, I've got this. So the song is all about affirmations, that you've got this Porsche. It's in.
I absolutely love it. And I think the timing is perfect. We're all going to affirm ourselves. Let's celebrate this man and his incredible journey. This is Mzito. Take it away.
Got it.
You.
Yo, yeah.
Sonbambegesa, sofune male, sonbambegesa, sonbambegisa. Umzito ipuza, umzito ingwenya, umzito ikumkani, sofune male, sonbambegesa, sonbambegisa. gitara, khala magitara, khala magitara.
All the way from Deal or No Deal out here to Mzansi live, and we absolutely love it. Don't go anywhere. We've got one more performance coming from this man in just a bit. Yo! Love it, bro.
With Jacob's Barista Editions, every bean, every roast, every cup is in a class of its own. Jacob's Barista quality in whole beans and new aluminium capsules in 3 exciting flavors. Try now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And let me tell you, if you're feeling quite cold, you've come to the right place. It's soup season, and Woolies are making it easy for you to enjoy comfort in a bowl, warmth in a bowl, and they've got a wide selection of ready-made soups, and I'm absolutely here for it. Now, they also know that there's nothing better than a fresh slice of bread to accompany a delicious bowl of soup. I mean, no one's going to argue with that, right? So here to unpack their convenient heat and eat bread range is Woolworths bakery product developer. We've got Jack Colver as well as Chef Clem once again in the building. Jack, how you doing, man?
Morning, very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm excited because it's not often you get to meet someone that specializes in like such good stuff, like great tasting carbs. This is what we're all here for, man. But I want to ask you, with all the ranges of carbs that we're getting when it comes to beautiful breads like this, what sets this ciabatta and all the other options that you have apart from everything else? Because I've got to say, I've been loving what you're doing. This stuff can dip into any flavor, pack it all up, and it's like a spoonful of loving, honestly. It's so good. But talk to me about the secrets behind it all. What's happening here?
So you've nailed it on the head, right? So we always have the difference, right?
Yeah.
So what we've tried to do is actually make the products with stuff that we can find locally. So it's locally sourced stone-ground flour. We have a lovely relationship with the guys who make it for us, and strategic partnerships, right?
Okay.
But then we also apply something a lot slower and longer. So we want to give people slow bread when they want it, right?
Yes.
And at the end of the day, theoretically, we get a better flavor. It's cleaner. We can do certain things that are better for the gut. So there's a lot of perceptions from people also that we try and tie into, right, and give them what they want.
Yes.
So sourdough-based, we do tweak it here and there, lots of hand-finished, yeah. So we need to be the difference.
Love that. And it's giving me like this guilt-free ability to kind of support this at the same time, because for me, I know that it's important to fuel your body correctly. So when you're talking about gut health, I'm here for that. When you're talking about taste, we're all here for that. When you're talking about this quality as well, I think say no more. Listen, apart from that, man, what else are you doing? What's making the difference in these products, especially this bread? Because there's something special about it. You talked about local, you talked about the quality, but when it comes to like ingredients and things like that, what's kind of setting things apart here?
So probably our biggest difference and our main focus would be less and process. So lesser ingredients, and we need to get that human element in, right?
Yes.
So we encourage the guys in the bakeries essentially to apply older methods in production of breads to get rid of quick, if that makes sense,
I
right?
like that. I
so
like that.
slower, longer, try and extract all the flavor from the raw material instead of trying to add something to give it the flavor.
Okay.
And it's almost reminiscent of when you were younger, right? That smell, the texture, the flavor.
100%.
We need to kind of get you back on this little journey.
Tap
when
back
you
into
eat,
those
right?
memories,
Exactly,
that
yeah, and that's half
nostalgic
the
mode.
fun. And nothing kind of speaks to winter, almost like bread. Well, any time of the day, naturally for me, but soup and bread, what else do you want, right?
Yeah,
and it's the only way to clean the bowl up properly.
It is the only way.
And it's not food, it's an experience,
No,
right?
100%.
So let's talk about the experience right now. And obviously we're experiencing something here, or about to at least.
Yes.
Clem, what you got going over here?
So I'm going for the classic tomato soup from Woolies. That's in the pot. But like it's the blank canvas. That's where you start. You start building up from there. So this is for Yuck. This is Yuck's pan because you're going to toast some sourdough.
Which way should I go? Let me get out of the way. Okay.
Anywhere.
Let me just watch
Anywhere.
from
You
here.
can even
All right.
sit on the counter. Okay, so tomato soup is being heated up. I'm also doing double carbs today because it is cold outside.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to also add a bit of texture to that by adding a little bit of gnocchi, which we've just kind of cooked the gnocchi in some salted water.
Okay.
Once you come to the top, they're done.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm going to just cool off Yuck's pan because
Yes,
Yuck's
please.
pan is looking hot. And we're gonna, so like I said, I've blanched off the gnocchi. I'm going to add some butter. Butter's very important just in life.
In life.
In life.
And for me, honestly, and I'm not joking, these are essentials. Like any Woolies bread, literally, if I get a little bit of crisp on it, if I toast it up and put some butter on, that is gold for me.
It is.
That right there. And like you mentioned earlier, it's the simplicity of it that has all the flavor already there. I don't need to necessarily layer it with anything. The bread on its own is already so good. So what you're about to do now is like taking Woolies bread and sending it to private school.
Yeah.
It's already actually come from private school.
It
So
has.
this is like
It
getting
just
its
comes from
master's.
love. Lots of love.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll go with love. I love that.
And that comes from what Yuck said earlier about taking time and letting the flavors develop in the dough instead of adding things to it to add that flavor. And it comes through immediately, even by just toasting that in butter right now. It's such a like overwhelming sense of like that biscuity, bready flavor. That's what you want in a good loaf of bread. And that's
you don't have to hide the
you don't have
flavor
to
of it. That's what
and that's when you don't have to do too much to it. So soup's looking good, bubbling away. You always got to be ready. So I feel like soups in winter do two things. Obviously, it warms you up. Also keeps you fit because if you're busy heating up your soup, you have to, as it pops, you have to dodge little splatters, or you can be sensible, turn the heat on and put a lid on. Do that. So gnocchi's looking good. You want it to sit until you start getting, you see a little bit of that brown.
Brown, yes.
You want a crustiness on that gnocchi. Kind of like it's going to be the croutons. We're doing double croutons today. Give it a mix. There we go. I've been obsessed with the Woolies soups at the moment. From the ones in the bag to the ones in the can, the new Moroccan soup in the can, and the Mexican soup in the can. Oh my goodness. Paired with the beautiful breads. Can I run over to the other end and show
Yeah,
you?
sure, because I was going to ask you this question while you're running over there. Maybe I can put you on the spot. What is the perfect bread to have with your soup? Because I've tried them all and they all work well.
They all work well.
They all work.
Because they all have there's a bit of a technique with each slice of bread. So with the mini garlic baguettes, super easy. Break it off and that becomes like a spoon on its own.
Yeah.
With a ciabatta, different story, because then you can either decide if you want to break the bread into pieces or you want to just dunk the whole bread in and it gets soppy, pick it up and then eat it.
Oh, I'm a dunker.
You're a dunker?
Yeah.
The knotted rolls are also pretty amazing. I love them. I pop them in the air fryer just to get like a little bit of a sheen and a little bit of crust and warm them through on the outside. That's how I want it. I don't even need butter with that because it's pretty damn buttery already.
And it's quite rich. And I think any of the breads, air fry's perfect for them, right? You might just have to cut them, but you don't have to turn on the oven for them either, right?
Yes.
And then I think to Clem's point earlier, so we've got a new bread out, right? So we took a bit of a chance for soup season.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's a different play on this. So it's a combination of white, stone ground flour, and spelt, right?
Ooh,
okay.
So nuttiness, a slightly different acidity, and a few extra benefits from the spelt itself. But that, with the texture, fried in butter, and Clem's soup, or the soup, I think you got a jackpot.
It's like poetry. It's like bread poetry, right?
Exactly.
You definitely talk about it. Now, for me, it's important to, obviously, with my soup, I want that bread to kind of have a thickness to it. The absorption level is important.
Yeah.
How much flavor can it pull out of the meal? And then does it still have its integrity thereafter, where I can just kind of turn it into a spoon?
There we go.
So it looks like we're ticking the boxes here, right?
We are.
But maybe you should go for a test, though. It looks
Things
like
are
you guys
popping.
are
Things
pretty
are
much
popping.
almost there. How's the
Okay.
soup looking?
Yeah, we're
Looking good.
Nice.
So I'm going straight into the counter. Thank you, Caesar Stone. Okay, cool. Soup, hot soup goes into the bowl. Oh, that bread is looking so good.
Can we talk about the smells here? Because Mzansi's never going to get to really experience that unless you try this for yourself. Get over to Woolworths or go to woolworths.co.za for this inspiration. But let me tell you, the smells alone right now, it's like winter love. Winter warmth, winter comfort. This is something that can change your mood instantly by just walking into a kitchen. This is ambience. This is an experience, and this is what I'm here for. I love it. Gents, how are we looking? Are we all done on this winter infusion? We're looking at a winter celebration right now.
So good. gnocchi,
Perfecto.
tomato soup, beautiful sourdough bread, toasted to perfection, some crispy sage leaves. That's pretty. That's like
Nice.
that's 800 Rand a bowl.
Yeah, can I just say thank you for serving our bellies this winter, for coming through
An
giving
absolute
giving
pleasure.
us all the inspiration we need for winter to get some soups and everything else that we can create from this. We're going to have fun with it. So thank you
That's
so much
awesome.
for the work you put into this.
Anytime.
Love it.
Massive pleasure.
Yes, so much fun in the kitchen. And we are savoring the moment with delicious soups and heat and eat breads from Woolworths. So Woolies Rewards members can buy the following, right? You get fresh butternut or country vegetable or the veg barley soup and a 400-gram ciabatta bread for only 80 bucks.
What?
80 Rand, that's it. What are you waiting for? I'm going to get 80 of them maybe. Serve the whole
100.
community, but not a member yet? Don't worry. Get in the action with just 85 Rand. I mean, it's not even that bad. And you can shop this deal at Woolworths in-store, online, or on the Woolies app. What are you waiting for? Come get some of this lovin'. Nice job, guys. Hey, where are you going with it? From the kitchen to the rest of the house now, are you ready to explore the world of bespoke? Well, Kutle had the great privilege of visiting the Design Quarter shopping centre in Sandton for the very exciting Samsung Bespoke Home Challenge winner announcement. This is life-changing, and to find out how they are creating an environment for pure creativity to thrive in, take a look.
The Samsung Bespoke Home Challenge innovates to meet South Africans' specific needs. This year is no different as they continue to encourage young interior designers to create an integrated kitchen and living room space using the bespoke refrigerator as the centerpiece. The 4 finalists have been selected to create their bespoke designs here at Design Quarter in Johannesburg, where they stand a chance of winning the title and kickstarting their careers with Samsung prizes to propel them into their future of creativity. Mike, talk to us about the Bespoke Home Challenge and what it aims to achieve.
Well, you'll remember in 21, we had the first version of the Design Challenge. You'll probably also remember that Cassandra Twala won that event, a lovely young designer, and she just did an amazing job. In fact, we launched the 4-door bespoke refrigerator in that year, and now that refrigerator is in thousands of South African households. This year is going to be slightly different. We've increased the products. There are more bespoke products, the washers, the dryers. We've even put hairdresser in. They've got about 40 to 50 square meters to work with. So it's not only just about the kitchen, but also taking the technology into the living space and making a bespoke and interesting space for homes, for families, even individuals that are looking to kit out one of their homes.
It is inspiring, it is motivating to see what we can do when we have local talent, local suppliers, local ideas, and one of the world's leading consumer electronics brand. This is what we can do here in South Africa, and it's absolutely amazing.
Tell us more about Samsung's vision for a bespoke home.
Samsung, as you say,
We are now with the winner of the Samsung Bespoke Challenge 2023, Zweli Banzi. Woo woo! How are you feeling?
It feels amazing. It feels humbling. It's such a humbling experience. I'm so grateful. I don't think I'll get used to hearing that, hearing that I won the challenge.
How do you think this win will impact your career?
I've already met a lot of amazing designers, some that I've looked up to. From now on, it's just networking with those people, working with them, and starting my career.
How does it feel to walk away winner? I mean, second prize is still a win, right?
It was a massive shock, but in the end it was all worth it. I'm so eternally grateful because this opportunity was absolutely amazing.
We cannot wait to witness these new beginnings with the Samsung Bespoke Challenge this year, where an environment of creativity has been created to thrive, support, mentorship, resources, and of course, amazing people.
To the Miss SA for 2025. Kutle, thank you so much. And we're going to keep dropping hints until she does that. That was incredible. We have been, I think, had a front row seat to watching this particular Internet of Things build and grow around the concept of bespoke design. Mind-blowing of where this is going. Kutle, thank you so much for bringing us that and giving us the chance to dream a little bit about what our spaces could look like. We'll see you again in just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your feel-good breakfast show, and let's keep the show going. And let's head into the world of interior design, creativity, and style. And it all comes together to shape our living spaces. Now, Harmony headed to Menlyn Park to see their stylish in-center pods that feature home decor and furniture that inspires your space and brings your decor dreams to life. I can't wait for this one. Let's check it out.
Shopping centers are like theme parks for adults, with endless aisles of thrills, bargains, and the joy of discovering things we love. As the famous shopping center quote goes, whoever said money can't buy you happiness simply didn't know where to go shopping. I'm in Menlyn Park, where the center has decided to partner with some of their home and decor tenants, and also a very notable interior designer who goes by the name of Marissa Vogel. Now, she is the CEO of Confetti Love and also the head stylist for the Rooms on View campaign. They've decided to decorate a couple of their in-center pods to showcase some of the trends for 2023. Come along and have a look. Hey, Marissa, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
You want to take a seat?
Thank you. Marissa, this place is beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the Menlyn Rooms on View campaign and how you're involved?
So we were approached to assist in the designing and the execution of building the actual pods. We would come up with a concept for each room, and we really tried to create 11 different look and feels for each specific pod. So we used these panels to create a barrier wall, and these were also crucial in the design process as it allowed us to create a solid color, or in some of the rooms you can see that there were wall coverings or paneling on it, or just a normal print that allowed the aesthetic of the room to come to life.
In your professional opinion, what are some of the 2023 trends that the shoppers should be looking for?
It's not every day that you get to redesign an entire space, so I think it's important to really invest in items and find out what your room needs. I'm a big fan of ambient lighting, so for instance in this space you can see this beautiful marble balanced light. And talk about hidden gems, I mean that gold palm lamp is one of the hidden gems that we found here in Menlyn Park Centre. From first glance, a shop might not necessarily shout your personal taste, but I think go in, have a look, browse around, and you might just find that unique piece that your space really needs.
Rooms on View is Menlyn Park's latest campaign that inspires shoppers on trendy home decorating ideas that fit any home, any room, or any budget. To tell me a little bit more, I'm going to join the general manager of Menlyn Park, who goes by the name of Nisha. Nisha, what sets Menlyn Park apart from other shopping centres and makes it a must-see destination for shoppers?
You know that Menlyn Park is the largest shopping centre in the Southern Hemisphere. And being the largest shopping centre, it means we're different on so many platforms. Number one, the largest tenancy base. Number two, the best international tenants that we have. So we give you a plethora of tenants. So anything that your heart desires, I'm sure we will find it for you at Menlyn Park.
Wow, I didn't know that it was the largest. And why did you decide to go with the Rooms on View campaign?
We generally, with shopping centres, be associated with the basic things like food, restauranting and fashion. But we tend to forget the most important thing about our lifestyles is the space that we go home to. So this conceptualization was about, let's find it an easy mechanism for us to create opportunities for you to see how your home can be landscaped. You can have decor pieces at a reasonable and affordable budget point as well.
Yeah.
So the designer and the concept primarily came through with Confetti Love. We use Marissa for her taste and her eclectic nature. But the tenancies where we source the product from is actually all Menlyn Park tenants. The best, most authentic and also independent retailers. So the pieces that you find are not available everywhere.
And my favorite part is that you can scan the QR code and find everything that you see here in the in-center pods.
Snap the QR code, that links to a digital catalog. The digital catalog would list every single item, the product, the dimensions, where you can find it at Menlyn Park, and almost walk you through to the store. But the best part about this is that if you purchase those items, you get an automatic entry into our competition, which means you can get your purchase for free. I mean, 60,000 Rand worth of products for your home. Who wouldn't want that? So don't waste time anymore. Come through and have a look at what we have at Menlyn Park Shopping Centre.
Well, I think it's very good. I like interior design. And when I passed by, I thought it was very good. And your imagination just goes on and on and on. Yes. I want to change my whole home.
I
think what makes Mainland unique is there's a lot of more stock in the stores. So it has a lot more variety, and that's why I like coming in.
This does make me want to shop in the mall more, because when you go into a store, you see items individually placed. So having a whole concept behind it makes it a lot easier, so you know how to design it in your own space.
With pods spread throughout the center, shoppers have the opportunity to explore and recreate looks for their bedroom, bathroom, living room, and everything in between. Discover inspiration for your home at Rooms on View Menlyn Park from 16th May until 30 June 2023. So be sure to get down here if you haven't already.
Oh, Harmony, oh, I love that, man. Doing the things, absolutely luxe living. And what an incredible opportunity to also just get into the spirit of a home decor, I think. Now, here's an incredible opportunity for you, Mzansi. If you spend 1,000 Rand or more, right, in the Menlyn Shopping Center, you can unlock up to 60,000 Rand in Menlyn shopping vouchers. It's really simple. All you need to do is obviously spend 1,000 Rand or more on home decor or furniture at Menlyn, and then simply upload your till slip. Now, you can find all the T's and C's at menlynpark.co.za. It's an incredible opportunity to get your home decor living on, and it's valid from the 16th of May till the 30th of June. So what are you waiting for? Get involved in this one and start living your opulent lifestyle.
Oh, I love that. To that effort, of course, let's talk a little bit of money right now. And I think one thing that unites all South Africans during these rather crazy times is that we are simultaneously trying to do the most but spend the least. If you've got it right, let us know how. When it comes to our grocery shopping, here's the conundrum. Would you rather save time or money, or is there a bit of both? Time to find out right now in another segment of Would You Rather? Dun, dun, dun. So let's bring Mr. Riley Pants in here to answer the difficult financial questions. I like to live vicariously through you. In my misspent youth, I always turn to you. So I'm going to paint a particular scenario here, and I'd love a little bit of honesty. You're busy. You are so busy, man. You're tired and you're on a budget. It's all happening. So would you rather, A, shop at 3 different stores and save money, or B, just shop at one store and save time?
This is a tricky one.
This is probably my biggest conundrum at the moment, because my time is so much more valuable now. So how do I split that? So where are you at? 3 stores, you're energetic, you could do it to save a few bucks, eh?
The thing is, buddy, considering if I'm tired, though, that's where the difference comes in, I think, here with the scenario. That's a difficult question. I honestly am genuinely the type of person that would, like, use whatever energy I have to try to save somewhere. But I'm feeling what you're feeling right now, and I definitely will value my time over anything else. So convenience is becoming a massive value component for me. I'm not going to lie.
Time is money.
It really is. And if you realize how valuable time is when you realize what you can do with that time, and you start doing things that stimulate you and start doing things with loved ones, it starts to become very valuable.
Because that fills the cup back up and then allows you to do twice as much tomorrow. It's the utilization of the time, not how much you have. You're absolutely on the money. So I figure let's get the real experts, some wisdom here from you guys. So we put this to you. Would you shop at 3 shops, save money, or B, shop at 1 shop and save time? Let's see what the people had to say.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear this now. Daisy Davies says, good morning. A, I normally go to the mall to do my shopping. There are quite a few shops close to each other, and this way I'll also get some exercise in by walking to the different shops.
I feel like you just made us all like idiots. And you were like, or you could go to like a shopping centre, dude, and just get all the shops together. Get very good life hack there. Well done.
Well played.
Julia Abraham saying definitely A. In these times, you must save money. It's worth a little bit of extra effort.
Yeah, my lad Pilusa says, good morning, Expresso family. I prefer a one-stop shop. It's time, efficient, and simple. And for me, my motto is, simple is better. Nice. Take it seriously, hashtag.
Some of us don't have a choice, man. Simple is the only way we got, man. Let's squeeze in one more. Norma Parker saying only if the shops are in the same shopping centre. Boom. And then Shireen, one of our OGs. Morning, Shireen. Good morning, my Expresso fam. Happy Wednesday. You too. I go for A. You save a lot when you go to different shops. And if I need a specific item that only one shop supplies, I go there to save time. Have a great day, team. Lots of you guys are just full of all the solutions this morning. Well done.
My new financial consultants lie within you, Mzansi.
Exactly.
Thank you for this. And I love this conversation. Keep it coming and keep any financial conversation going, and especially during these tough times, because let's be honest, we all have to compromise one way or another to make our money last longer, right?
Yep, it's not a choice anymore. But to help ease that financial burden, Nedbank is offering you cash back when you shop at leading retailers nationwide and buying the stuff that you actually need. To find out all about this benefit and the specific details, I suggest you do ask those questions. Visit nedbank.co.za.
You must be wondering how I got here, man. Enjoying Bomadi sushi, got the fork and knife over bubbles of sparkling water. But I didn't know the changes, Joe, because I chose Nedbank, the bank that gives you discount upon discount in this country. I call it a bank with benefits, eh? Yeah. Value guaranteed. Seriously? Seriously.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to the last installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling!
Ching, ching, ching!
Tony's still in the kitchen with us. Thank you so much, Tony. We've made two amazing curries. We've made our prawn curry. We've made our lamb curry. I'm seeing fish. I'm very excited. What are we making?
Making the traditional Durban fish curry.
A traditional Durban fish curry.
Yes.
Yes. Again, very excited. We've got our pan and we've got our oil in the pan ready to go. What fish are we using?
We normally use, in Durban, they would use the yellowtail, or they use the angelfish. Or normally they will use the steam breast.
So quite meaty fish.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we're going for. I like it. So today, what have we got with us?
Okay, like you see here, we do have the
yellowtail.
The yellowtail.
It's yellowtail, yes.
But normally when we cook fish curry, we use it all with the bone.
Right.
We use it with the bone.
Okay.
And we slice it right through the center. And we use it in chunks.
So it's kind of, when it's the whole fish, cut straight through into almost like fish steaks.
Correct.
With the bone in it.
Yes.
Keep that in mind when you're making this dish at home. So
because
cool.
most of the flavor comes from the bone itself.
Yes, and what I also find is with seafood, especially fish, that cartilage between the bones also helps add richness to the curry.
100%.
So definitely on the bone. Perfect. So what do we do first?
We add a little bit more oil to the pan.
And it's quite nice because seafood cooks really quickly. So I'm thinking load shedding, if you want to have curry and you don't feel like going out to get it, this is a good one to make just before the power goes out.
Yes, then we use our onion in.
I will turn the heat up for you now. Onion and a little bit of green chili again, my favorite. There we go.
Go again with the curry leaves. And our brinjal, known by Indians and aubergine known by everybody else.
I didn't even know that brinjals were that prominent in Indian cuisine, and then I started reading a couple of recipe books, and I'm finding brinjals in quite a few recipes.
Yes.
But then it makes sense also because if you think about it, in certain parts of India, they are vegetarian.
Correct.
So there's always a substitute for that meaty texture, and brinjal does that really, really well.
Yes.
So I like that. So that's in there, and we kind of want to just cook everything down, translucent onions, get those brinjals slightly softened.
Softened, yes. Now, once the brinjals are slightly softened, then we're going to add our turmeric, a little bit of turmeric, and a little bit of our...
The magic masala goes in. So we're going to give that a mix. It is smelling... What I love is that it's simple ingredients, but already this on its own is smelling absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Now, we've got some comments from our viewers. I'm going to step over to the big screen. So we've asked some people what are their favorite curries. So we've got Teresa. Micah said she's definitely into your lamb curry. And Teresa, if you want that recipe, don't forget to go and check it out on expressoshow.com. Let's see. Nicole says she can't decide, all the recipes you make, she can't decide. I am with you on that one. Then we've got a Jennifer Jones who says an authentic Durban Indian fish curry, which is what we're doing right now. Absolutely. And then Roxy says, good morning, beautiful people. Option 2 for me, Indian lamb curry. People are just obsessed with your recipes, Tony. They really are. Let's see. And then we'll come back to it. We've got some more for the Indian curry. People are loving the lamb curry. People are obsessed with your curries, Tony. Okay, cool. So everything's looking good. Everything's looking amazing. Like I said, once we get to that point where onions are translucent, we're going to go in with turmeric.
A little bit of turmeric inside.
And instantly that color just changes. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm going to go here, 3 spoons. Not too much.
Oh, it smells amazing. Okay, we're going to give this all a mix. So we want to make sure that the brinjal picks up all that spice as well.
It must coat nicely.
Because it's going to suck it all up. And that's where the flavor is going to come from. So we've got a vegan in the studio. We often talk about him. This would be a nice one if you take. We haven't added butter to it, and if we take out the fish, this would be a great plant-based curry, which I think would be absolutely delicious. And if you don't mind a bit of dairy, some paneer cheese with this in there would be amazing. Tony was like, is this man messing up my recipe? Oh, he's like, okay, there we go. Okay, cool. So this is looking good. What's next?
And then we put our old garlic.
And this one's just sliced, not chopped.
No, yeah.
Quite nice. I like the texture.
The old garlic. And then we add in our tomato.
There we go. Same thing, blended tomato, coriander, some chili.
Same. You see, that just opens the flavor when you blend it in that.
Oh, Tony, this is phenomenal. Salt, again, very important. Also, with the brinjal being in there, brinjal does like a bit of salt to get the salt in. And then, what's next?
A little bit of pepper.
Pepper's great, and I also feel like when people make recipes, when they make curries at home, they sometimes skip the pepper. I don't know why, but pepper's really great in curries.
You see, especially with the fish curry, you got to add a little bit of pepper with. Normally, my granny, mum, my aunties, they would normally grind the spice
by hand.
By hand.
The commitment, I love it.
On the grinding stone before they would add it into the fish curry itself. And once we got that boiling now, we just add in a little bit of our tamarind mix.
So this is just tamarind paste which you've mixed through with some hot water. Once it dissolves, that's it. And tamarind gives us that sweet, tangy flavor.
Yes.
Oh, tamarind is absolutely amazing, which is another recipe, another ingredient that I want to use more of. It just adds so much more flavor just from that paste.
A little bit at a time to cook.
Oh, perfect. So when does the fish join the mix.
Okay. All this now needs to build up. Build up, and once the brinjals are softened, nice, the tomatoes cooked in, and the tamarind is cooked in with the gravy, then we add in a touch of lemon juice.
Is that just to brighten all the flavors, everything that's happening inside the pan at the moment?
It's going to give that little bit of sourness and the normal flavor that you would like. This is actually my wife's favorite, the fish curry.
Oh, you want to just give your wife a shout out there? Say hi to your wife right over there. Over there we go.
Okay. Hi, love. This is dedicated to you.
Ah,
it's your favorite.
Nice and sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah. Looking good?
Looking good.
Now do we add the fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what we do now is then we can add the fish in. We put it face down first.
Skin side up, okay.
This is the opposite from frying.
From frying, right? We always go skin side down when we're frying.
Yeah, we want the flavor to go into the fish.
Okay, where obviously the skin would stop that from happening.
Yes. So we go skin, flesh side down.
It smells amazing in the kitchen right now, South Africa. I wish I could let you smile, but you take my word for it. Fish goes in, lid goes on for a few minutes, and then once it turns beautiful opaque...
We can just put the balance of the thing in, and then you can see it's automatically changing color.
Yes, it is. Turning that beautiful opaque color. I'm gonna give it a little shimmy, get the tamarind in there. Lid on.
Then you can close it now until it cooks a little bit, and then we turn the fish over, and then let it cook for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then the magic ingredient, the coriander.
And do you chop it?
You gotta chop it.
Yeah?
But it's gotta be a handful.
Like a decent amount?
A decent amount.
Yeah.
That's where the actual fish curry flavor comes from.
Ah, Tony,
coriander.
You have blown us away this morning. Thank you so much. It's not the last time you enjoyed the kitchen. I can't wait to get more recipes out of you. South Africa, you've been amazing. Tony, thank you so much. If you want to try these recipes out, go and check them out on expressoshow.com, and we'll be back next week with more Culinary Hotline bling.
Ching, ching, ching.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. We've had so much fun today. So let's continue on that trend. And we've been testing our minds, we've been testing our bodies, our fortitude, our strength of character. Now, Now, the strength of our coffee. We absolutely love it. Yes, we've proven already how much we love our coffee, and we want to prove yet again how much we know about it. So we try to make our way through some pretty difficult questions. Let's see if we've improved our coffee knowledge. And this morning, we've got the incredible coffee at hand. We are using our Jacob's Gold Smooth and Mild, which says to me an extra 3 spoons. That's why I like the Kroning, because it's got that full body, but if you're going to drink a lot, the Gold is king. So we absolutely love it. You guys can grab a sip.
Nice. Thank you.
Go back, or you can
go for it. I'm going to go for it. You're so kind.
Here we go, hey?
I'm going to go.
Just for you. I know you will absolutely love that, and hopefully it will give you the mental fortitude you need. So we want to see who's going to walk away with the golden title of being the coffee expert. Woo. I kind of think that I might be now. I'm not a coffee snob. I think we've got the real experts here, and we love our Jacob's Gold because it has a beautiful aroma, really mild, smooth taste, absolutely beautiful, and you can add as many spoons as you like to get the strength that you desire.
Lovely.
All right, so I'm going to throw some questions. You might remember the answers, you might not, and then we will see who is going to be our reigning coffee champ. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Let's do this.
What's my sound?
That.
Oh, we got sounds again, eh?
What? It's got to be a powerful sound. It's got to be... No, that's not powerful at all.
Okay, we'll work it out. It'll come out. It'll come out.
Raul, do you want to update your sound?
I wish I had a... ting ting.
Ting ting.
Okay,
Yeah.
ting ting.
Oh,
It's like
that's
hitting
nice.
the side of the coffee cup. Ting ting.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Nice.
What country is that from?
It's Swedish.
It's alpaca. It's alpaca. I love it. Okay, so your first question is this, gents. Alrighty, tough one. Coffee is the world's second largest traded commodity. Wow, in terms of value. Which is the first? Gold, petroleum, or wheat?
Ting ting? It's not gold. It's petroleum. 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 Surely everyone needs some fuel.
Don't. Fuel for us is the coffee. Fuel for our cars is petroleum. In fact. So, get this, okay? Not far behind. It's estimated that over 120 million bags of coffee are made each year. That's roughly 8.2 billion cups of coffee per year.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot.
We contribute. We play our part. Okay, we play our part. All right, so let's get on to question number 2, okay? And this one I found quite interesting. Which country has the highest coffee consumption per capita? Brazil, America, they like it long and large there, or Finland?
Hoya!
Hoya!
It is Finland.
It is!
It is Finland. I know this for a fact.
What?
Yeah?
There's like 5 people
You are so
there, bro.
first world, my friend. Maybe it's got something to do with like they live winter in darkness. But Finland consumes on average 12 kilograms of coffee per person per year. 12 kg.
It doesn't make sense because they've got to stay up like when the entire day is full of darkness. That makes absolute sense.
Our life, man. I love that. Well done. Okay, now we move on to question 3. This is where it gets real, okay? On average, South Africans consume how many cups of coffee per year? 550 million, 100 million, or 20 million? This one is mind-blowing.
This is tricky. I don't even know the answer to this. I'm trying to do like quick math. Like how many people live in South Africa?
How many people live in South Africa?
6 million? 6 billion?
6 billion people in South Africa.
6 billion people in South Africa, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I'm not kidding. Oh, yeah. 500 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
explain your math.
Okay, quick math.
How did you work that out?
Okay, you're going for the 550, okay? The 550.
550,
Okay,
550.
Yeah.
It's all the provinces, all the people, divided by the weather at the moment. It comes to 550 million.
Divided by the
cannot be
tiredness.
right.
I love it. Multiplied by the tiredness.
Is that the answer?
It is the answer. South Africans, as a whole, we consume 550 million cups per year. That's 17 cups a second.
What?
We are bringing down the average right now.
Hey, guys,
Get on it.
Pick it up, yeah.
I love this, man. I'm proud or shocked. I love it. Okay, this one is really interesting. Which of these is not a type of coffee bean? Arabica, Robusta, Columba.
Ting ting. I know this one for sure. I know that Arabica and Robusta are flavors. We speak about it all the time.
we talk about it
I
all
would
the time.
love for Columba to be
I don't think that's even a real word, Columba.
Columba.
That's a nice word. You can name your child Columba.
But I'm pretty sure it's that one.
No, you're absolutely on the money, my friend.
Yeah.
Arabica and Robusta are the 2 kinds of coffee beans that are used in commercial coffee production. That's why we talk about them so much. The main difference between them are their taste and where they actually grow. So Arabica, the beans are cultivated in Central and South America. And that's due to their subtropical climate. We know that makes a big difference. They Then the Robusta beans, on the other hand, are cultivated in Central and West Africa and Southeast Asia. They require places with little rainfall, lower altitudes to grow.
He knows it off by heart. He's not reading.
He's not.
I'm just thinking, wine up high, coffee down low.
He taught me like Arabica has like more flavor in the chocolate profile type of things, and that gets...
I've just learned how to say Arabica, okay? So just don't get ahead of yourself. Okay, so one last question here.
Yes.
Get in the game, boy, get in the game. Which country is the world's biggest coffee bean producer? Vietnam, Brazil, or Colombia?
So it's not Finland.
Oh yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
I'm gonna say Brazil.
Brazil for the win.
I
Look
would
at
go
that.
with that.
B, bam.
B?
Brazil produces 2.68 million metric tons of coffee on average every year. Boom, absolutely amazing. Let's get into our next question. Is what color are coffee beans in their raw, unroasted form?
Oh yeah.
Purple, brown, or green? Okay, go for it.
It's green.
It's green.
It's shades of green. Green. Yes.
It's a bright, powerful green, yes. A raw, unroasted coffee bean is typically a bright, beautiful green in color. Then they dry them out, they roast them. That's where we get that lovely color note. Okay, last question. Which one of these root plants often used as a coffee substitute? Chicory, tapioca, or rutabaga?
Ting ting! It's got to be chicory. Chicory. Yeah, I've had that. It tastes so good. Not as good as this, but
it's there. It has a role to play. I absolutely love it. You're on the money. It is exactly that. So the next time you go and pick up a pack or something, a pack or a jar of coffee and have a look at the ingredients list, you'll see that some of the products mix chicory with their coffee. But if you look at your Jacob's instant freeze-dried coffee, for example, you'll see the ingredients are 100% pure coffee.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we want. I'm going to give this one to Riley.
It's fine, you can have it.
Riley Pants can get it this morning. Hey, young Jedi, coffee night is on his way. Now, if you love your coffee as much as we do, then treat yourself. You deserve it by only drinking the best and choosing to drink 100% real coffee like Jacob's Gold, Jacob's Kronung, my best. And if you haven't made your morning cuppa yet, then this is definitely your sign. Use one of our left-handed cups and drink it. We love it.
Hey, I'm a lefty. Do I get more coffee for doing it? Because I'm almost done.
You do, the whole thing.
Here's to the coffee magicians. The ones who know what you get out starts with what you put in.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Feel Good Breakfast Show, and let's get it on the road right now because Mzito is still standing by. Yes, the man that was on the show called Deal or No Deal on SABC 1, and he did some incredible things, turning a $50 into 10,000 Rand. And let me tell you, this guy is not just a winner of TV shows, but he's a winner in life. The man's playing instruments, even touches a little bit on the piano. He produces, and right now he's got another performance for you. It's called Yenza Something. And this is Mzito once again. Do the things, brother.
Yes.
Something, Suguma, Yagunteta, Valumlomo, here's a something. Suguma, Yagunteta, Valumlomo, here's a something. 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 Here's a something.
All I do is paper chasing. I don't play, I'm money making. From the bottom till I make it out. Believe ya. Kamalango taka mekila. You need to work harder if you come from where I come from. Hungry from the bottom. My mind is like a lion. Now I'm from Nukteta, I just wanna bunny paper. Got the sun, it gotta grow, so I'm hustling for dough. Yeah, I'm dying at the top, no matter what, I'll never stop. So we shall do the most, while you praying do the most. In the night I go shine, in the need some breeze like a bend, me now I go fly. Sakunganda si kwenkwezi, This life is amazing. God, you think praises. Standing from the top, from the bottom, it's amazing.
Sukuma, yekuthetha, vala umlomo, yenza something. Sukuma, yekuthetha, vala umlomo, yenza something. Yenza something. Yenza something. Yenza something. Yenza something. Yenza something. Vuka, mzala wami, ngoba abantu bajongile. Vuka, mzala wami, ngoba abantu babukele. Vuka, mzala wami, uthandaze, mzala wami. Vuka, wenza something. Vuka, mzala wami. Vuka, sulinyembezi. 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 Sukuma, yekuthetha, mzala wami, ungazali, mzala wami. Sukuma, yekuthetha, mzala wami. Yebo, yebo, mzala wami. Vuma, vuma, mzala wami, mzala wami, mzala wami, mzala wami.
Another feel-good production.